All right, I think we're live. Had a struggle here as usual, but think we should be good. Let me know if there's any issues going on. But yeah, we got a jump ball coming here. Not much to say before that. Danny is in some undisclosed location, so he might have his camera off at times. Making sure make sure that the YouTube's going. I'll get you guys synced up once we start as well. And we're about to get underway. For Game 5, Knicks could win their first championship in 53 years, and they win the tip as well, which has been a rare occurrence on in this series. So I'm going to sync us up. Danny, you could take over for a moment here. I'm at 46, 45, 44, 43.
Okay, so Jalen Brunson driving on Victor Wembanyama tries that quick floater, and that's one of the shots that Wembanyama creates because of his size. You can't get all the way to the basket. I mean, it's late clock. You don't have to kill that too much for Jalen Brunson, but the quality of shots for the Knicks and the Spurs is such a huge dynamic in Game 5 and, of course, in this series overall.
Fox
De'Aaron
off the
Fox.
weak side screen, and he's switched on to by Anunoby, his nemesis, and this is looking like the end of Game 4 for San Antonio. Never penetrated the paint once. Fox picking up Hart. Now they'll move it weak side. Anunoby going to try Wembanyama. Tries to bump into him. Wembanyama stayed in front of him that time. Didn't get dunked on. Now Wembanyama's on him in the corner. This is not a great possession by the Knicks. Anunoby just goes down. And Fox maybe could have just gotten that steal. He didn't see it. And now Hart has to jack up an impossible shot and no shot clock violation. Here's Vassell against Brunson. They want to go after Brunson a little bit more. Good defense there. Spurs offense just can't even get any kind of penetration. Now finally Castle will, but no, he got it taken away by Towns, and then no foul. I thought he fouled Towns after. Here's Hart picked up by Wembanyama. Kicks it out. Bridges in the corner. Good job by Champagnie. Wemby called out the switch, and now we're going to get a push in the back as Towns went for the rebounding action.
Well, and it looks like that was on Stephon Castle, and considering they could have called him for a foul on the front end of that possession, calling a foul on the back end is appropriate.
All right, so it looks like I'm having some issues here. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, good. We are all live and all good. Let me know if there's any issues. So neither team has scratched yet. Almost 2 minutes in. Wembanyama was up in pick and roll defense. Hart missed at the rim, and that's going to be a second foul that Karl-Anthony Towns has drawn on this possession, going for offensive rebounds. Again, when Victor gets out on the floor, Knicks are very well trained to attack immediately, and that's what Hart did.
That is the second team foul on the Spurs. That foul assigned to Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, and Victor did grab the arm of Towns in the end. Brunson can't get it into Towns, who's now guarded by Vassell. Vassell did a good job of working around and deflection off the pressure by Fox.
11 left on the shot clock for the Knicks here.
Yeah, we are at 10:04 remaining. Looks like the sync is looking good here. Back on the good computer, but let us know if there are any issues. Again, they're trying to front Towns in the post with 11 on the clock. They get it to him very deep in the corner. He's almost falling out of bounds. And Vassell, great pressure again, knocking it away. Both teams' defense has been outstanding here early.
Yeah, I mean, yes, both teams haven't scored, but it's been a lack of good looks has been really striking overall in this first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, more 2 instances of pressure preventing the Knicks from even getting the ball in bounds, basically. Now Brunson will get open. No, it's going to be Towns up top. He'll try Vassell. Victor comes over and just swallows him up. But Towns, I thought he was out of bounds. They didn't call it, and that's going to lead to transition for San Antonio. Victor is open. Down the lane, easy reverse dunk. With Towns falling down, we haven't seen too much of those falling down drives from him, but they are vulnerable in transition. Spurs with the first bucket of the game. Again, they are trying to front Towns in the post. Victor coming over, strong double team. He should just scram out of there. Brunson is left wide open. Complete miscommunication there. That was awful.
Yeah, that was bad Spurs defense. The threat assessment, they had 2 people over there, and so it led to an open pass for a good catch-and-shoot shooter.
Fox guarded by Anunoby. They want to involve Brunson in the screening action. and Fox fires the three. It goes over the top of the backboard there. That time they backed off a little bit with the screen. Fox had the opening, but wasn't able to knock it down. Yeah, Towns was definitely out of bounds when he touched that, right?
I think so, and that that would have been a half court offense possession. But the huge story for this game is which of San Antonio's guards has it, and so far the answer is none of them that we've seen. But it's still 3 minutes in.
So it's Victor guarding Towns for this possession at least. They're switching up the matchups. Towns going right at him. Knocks him back. Oh, what a block by Wembanyama anyway. I thought Towns fouled him right after that too. They're letting a lot go here early. Fox says, Victor, you go. You got Towns on you. And Victor can't get it. Rebound Champagny went right over Hart.
Opportunistic rebound for Champagny. He's done that at pretty well times. The Knicks are going to need to do that too, especially if Wembanyama's out on the perimeter.
Good pressure again. Fox this time on Bridges, who's done very little since game one offensively. They move it. Wembanyama on Anunoby in the corner. Anunoby crossing over, gets past Wembanyama. Oh, he tried to dunk on him again. Wembanyama says, no, sir, you're not doing that to get my second foul. Fox going to drive it. Goes right in on Hart. Hart got the stop. Castle's on top of Hart. They're tangled up. It's going to be a 3-on-3 here. Anunoby, oh, that was a carry. But he's going to get fouled at the rim. That, to me, looked like quite a carry by Anunoby.
Well, and on the last play, there was a ton of contact from Hart. I believe that was to De'Aaron Fox that was uncalled. They're letting a lot of stuff go.
Yeah, Towns trying to shove Victor off, and that's just an incredible defensive play by one of the best of all time. And then this actually looks pretty darn clean there. Or that was Victor's block of Anunoby's dunk the first time. So that was not the Champagny foul, which Anunoby is shooting free throws for now.
Third team foul on San Antonio already. I think the Knicks have one team foul. No, 0 team fouls. And today it's me that probably won't have as many windows open rather than Nate. So that'll be fun.
I don't know if I want to risk it either. Anunoby continues his clutch free throw shooting, and the Knicks back in front. This one's shaping up like a defensive struggle. They go to the 45 pick and roll. Brunson jumped out. Castle attacked. Hart stayed in front of him. Again, no contact on the screen. Knicks defender gets over it. See, I think he should just take that shot right there. Now he's going to get a worse shot now than the one he would have had. Except he draws a bad foul on Karl-Anthony Towns.
And again, take the win. If he's going to take a pull-up jumper, an awkward one at that point, just don't get...
Not only was it a carry, that was a double dribble. That was ridiculous. How did they miss that? I saw that live. That was really bad. It wasn't even a carry. He literally put 2 hands on the ball.
And we'll see how Wembanyama responds. Of course, Fox made the last mistake, but Wembanyama missing both of those free throws was another huge miscue late in game 4 for the Spurs.
Wembanyama gets the second free throw. Spurs back in front in this defensive struggle so far. Knicks have been setting more screens in the backcourt to help Brunson. Castle gets back in front off the help from Wembanyama. Maybe they could have done something there. This Spurs pressure has been withering early on, though. Knicks haven't gotten much except in transition. Harper gets over the screen. Towns, he's firing it from way out. Not close there. I think the Spurs should be willing to live with that shot more than they have been.
I agree.
And now Wembanyama setting a good screen. Johnson going into Anunoby. Tough attempt. Oh, Victor just crushed it with the right hand. Towns came over to help out, and that left the offensive boards exposed. More contact in the backcourt. Brunson getting past Castle. Draws Wembanyama. Good rotation by Vassell. OG has to back up, and Wembanyama forced that miss. He was waiting underneath. OG just had to take a tough fadeaway instead. Spurs defense has been awesome early. The Knicks are 1 of 10 from the field. And the 2 free throws that they got were off a double dribble. Now, see, again, Victor, why not just take that first shot or go draw a double team like that? Nice play as Brunson came over to help. And that's where I think Brunson can most be taken advantage of is on closeouts.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs have dominated in the first quarter in this series. They're off to that again. Towns working on Harper, kick out Anunoby with help from Victor, and Anunoby cashes out that 3-pointer.
He's been so good on that shot in these entire playoffs.
Here's Harper. Knicks have really gotten their best stuff off of double teams on Towns. They move it. Vassell. Spurs haven't been able to knock down threes yet. Johnson picking up Brunson. He likes this matchup. He's going to look to turn the corner. Backs up. Lost the handle for a second. Now he'll try again. Backs off on Johnson. And again, the lurking Wembanyama did not allow Brunson to turn the corner, but good work by Anunoby. And finally, after 6 minutes, we get our first TV timeout.
It has been a defensive start in this game. The Knicks are shooting 2 of 12 from the field, and both of their made field goals were threes. They're 0 for 9 on twos. And then the Spurs 1 for 4 from 3, and then 3 for 6 from 2, including that Victor Wembanyama putback.
All right, I'm going to load up with some water real quick. I was scrambling to get us ready right at the start.
Matthew asked, do you think part of the Spurs' problem in the non-Wembanyama minutes is the total lack of a secondary rim protector among their forwards? Yes, I do think that's a big part of the problem, is that they have a lot of solid perimeter guards, but they don't really have, I mean, other than Carter Bryant, who's a rookie, they don't really have a lot of other players who kind of can fulfill those normal forward responsibilities. And one of the things that I would be most scared of as another Western Conference team, and Nate and I will talk about this more when we do the Spurs offseason preview, whenever that ends up being the case, is that there are so many areas more on the small end that San Antonio can improve. And so you think about a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of, if not the best player in the world, but they also have a lot of these other things figured out. Holmgren and Hartenstein, and ideally when they're healthy, J-Dub, AJ Williams, AJ Mitchell. The Spurs could get so much better. Let's say 2 through 11. I mean, I think, and a lot of that will be internal, but what's so juicy is that it doesn't all have to be internal. They have a ton of other assets. They have a lot of other things that they can do. And so San Antonio, if Wembanyama is this guy, they have a long time and a lot of resources to figure out the other stuff. And like, okay, they need to have the part of the reason they're playing so small is because they want guys who can shoot. Well, there are players who exist who are forward sized who can shoot. And so the Spurs over the next few years can absolutely get those guys. Daniel asked if I'm watching the World Cup. Not as much right now because I'm traveling, but I will be home on Sunday. I'm at a family wedding actually in Quebec. I'm parts unknown. I don't give a crap about that. But so when I'm home, I will watch plenty of World Cup. Right now, traveling harder. Kadar says, I don't believe Mitch Johnson has tried Carter Bryant at center since the Portland series. Why do you think that is the case? Well, part of it is that I don't think Mitch Johnson really trusts Carter Bryant. Like, he makes some bad decisions, makes bad plays. And from what I can tell, with some notable exceptions, Mitch Johnson is somebody who his rotations for the low end guys is kind of about who frustrates him, who makes those decisions. And Carter Bryant, I think that he kind of needs those growing pains, but also like Luke Cornett, they haven't been as good with him on the floor, but Luke Cornett is a very good player. Is Kelly Olynyk done, finished, washed? Well, yes, because here's the thing. When Wembanyama was suspended from a game, the Spurs desperately needed more help in the front court, and they played Olynyk a total of 0 minutes. And so if a team, when their starting center is out, their backup center can't play the full game, doesn't play a guy, then he's done. He's just done.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they're wrong, but in the case of Kelly Olynyk, I think he's been washed for 3 years.
Yeah, my big issue with the Olynyk was that I don't think the Spurs should have signed him in the first place. Now, or like I guess cut him and
no, they traded for him.
No, but I mean, like, they could have used that roster spot on somebody else. Like, they already have Bismack Biyombo, and I guess you want to say Plumlee.
Yeah,
Plumlee
came over later. I don't know. I think he was pretty injured. Maybe they thought that he could help them. I'm going to see if I can fix the. I mean, for me, it looks like it's evened up, but I think our broadcast is a little bit behind, so that's part of the problem. Here's Hart, 3-pointer in the corner. That's Nick's starting to get these corner threes now. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm not evened up here on the broadcast either. Second. Let's see what I can
And
do.
Dylan Harper made a nice contested finish, and then Luke Cornett with a kick ball there. And yeah, Dylan Harper is just such an adept finisher, understanding. And there, it wasn't about finishing through contact. It was about finishing before contact. He was able to get the giant killer on Karl Anthony Towns. Josh Hart has it up top, giving it to Jalen Brunson, who has Harper on him. I've enjoyed this matchup a lot in the series. Shamet flashes in with the screen, doesn't really make contact, but that still generates the attention. And so they were going to get an open three. Instead, it's a drive, and they're going to see what they can kick here. And they didn't have enough time. The Knicks went a little bit too slowly, and that's why they couldn't get a good shot there. And now we'll see if the Spurs can get something in transition. Keldon Johnson driving at Josh Hart, and he misses.
Yeah, steal, though, by the Spurs. Let's see if Johnson can cash out a corner three. No. And Cornett was held by Mikal Bridges underneath. Good job by him getting inside position.
And I believe that is the second team foul in the New York Knicks. They've been pretty clean so far, and the Spurs are, I think they have 3 or 4 personals. I apologize, my stat stuff, because I'm limiting my windows on hotel internet. I'm not going to be on that stuff as much.
Yeah, so I'll give you a stat, Danny. The Knicks are 0 of 9 from 2 right now.
Yeah. And they've been deterred from a lot of the shots they would like to take, including memorably that Jalen Brunson on the first possession of the game.
Yeah. The Spurs have been doing a pretty decent job. They're giving up some corner threes. Here's Harper working on Shamet. Gets underneath. Oh, that's just unbelievable. What a finish by Dylan Harper. He had nowhere to go. Now, Brunson gets Harper switched onto him rather than Johnson. Towns ran close to him. I think they should have just stayed with the initial matchup. Now they want to involve Cornett. Cornett playing that zone as well on the baseline. Knicks can't puncture the paint. Again, good denial by Fox to take away Alvarado. They're playing Alvarado and Brunson together. Shamet has to force up another one and another shot clock violation. This San Antonio defense in the half court has been absolutely ridiculous so far. Knicks only with 6 points in the half court.
And they haven't really generated many good shots either. Like that's the most telling thing to me, is that they're not getting anything, and their late clock offense hasn't looked as good because they're not really getting into motion. The one time they didn't get a shot off until too late.
Yeah, and our luck adjusted score has it as 16-10 right now. Here is Harper on the drive. Johnson turning the corner, just can't finish with his left hand though. Instead he kicks out to Fox, who is off. Hart working for the rebound. No, Johnson has it, but then he throws it right between the legs of Harper, but it was deflected away. And actually, I think this is going to be a foul here.
I think it's just, I haven't seen a foul call on my ledger yet. Let's see. I have to see.
Yeah,
maybe just a sub.
Out of bounds. I thought he was signaling a number there, but yeah, it was just out of bounds. Harper, they go under on him. Kick it to Champagnie. Brunson against the closeout. And again, don't drive into OG Anunoby when he's gapping. OG going in. Stopped by Harper and Champagnie. Fox did well to get back and tip it away from Robinson. 3-on-3. Fox gets into the lane. Underneath Johnson. No, it got deflected. Oh, it just threw it away. No deflection. Another turnover by Fox. Again, Fox going downhill at Brunson. You just got to be able to just go past Jalen Brunson there. And it shows you how limited he is, but I'm not sure, honestly, that the healthy version of Fox this year would have done much better in that situation. Here's Alvarado going downhill. No, he slipped down. Fox gets back in front of him. Fox has been good defensively so far. Here's Brunson getting past Harper across the lane, floats it up. Robinson working for the rebound, but Harper did well to tip it away from him. Harper has Shamet now. They're going to go at Brunson. Brunson on the hedge. Harper needs to go faster there. No, instead, good screen set by Cornett, and Johnson gets a three. That was beautiful offense by San Antonio with the pick and roll happening at the top. They took advantage of everyone trying to zone up behind the play. Harper staying with Brunson, who attacks again. Harper still stayed with him. Brunson wants it back. Now they move it. They'll set the screen for Anunoby with Cornett in a drop coverage. Johnson did well to get back in front. Anunoby has to pull. Cornett shoved Robinson. He got the rebound anyway. Now Brunson going after Keldon Johnson, who's held up okay in this matchup. Brunson inside out dribble. Good steal by Champagnie coming off the corner. Here come the Spurs. Johnson finding Champagnie in the corner. Big three. Nope. Spurs just can't get going from outside right now. They could be up by more. Harper again, man, he just cut Brunson off beautifully. Cut him off again. Brunson still working. Tough fadeaway is good.
And that's a good make by Jalen Brunson, who's really struggled from the field to start this game. But that shows you what Dylan Harper can do defensively. That was a really tough possession for Brunson.
Yeah, without really much help waiting behind him. Now, Robinson switched on to Harper for a moment. Brunson on a good hedge. Nobody really ready to do anything. Here's Champagnie just getting into the corner for a three. He's missed 2 wide open corner threes in a row. Yeah, Champagnie not giving much reason for Mitch Johnson to change up his closing group. He went with the 3 guards before. Here's Robinson and Cornette. Wise foul there on Mitchell Robinson. Clearly he was trying to give that, and that'll also, in theory, get Wembanyama back into the game with the under 3 timeout.
But I would say for San Antonio, an immensely successful Cornette stint, +5 in his 4 minutes, though theoretically, a Robinson made free throw should one ever happen, would diminish that.
Yeah, and also they didn't, let's see, did they have any Towns Cornette minutes? Let's see.
I think technically they did. I think there was like a minute or two.
That it was actually a minute 50.
Okay.
And it was 4-0. The Knicks are now 1 of 13 from 2. That one Brunson make on the baseline. Take a look at the shot chart there. And the Knicks are 0 for 8 in the paint. They've had 3 of those shots blocked, and they've only got fouled once. They're 1 of 5 from mid-range. And they've only actually gotten up 2 corner threes as well. So they are 2 out of 7 on threes. This has been pretty rough. And because they've struggled so much in the paint, the luck-adjusted score has them with only 12 points instead of the 10 that they have. They've been a little unlucky on jumpers. But also worth noting, all of these mid-rangers have been very contested.
Yeah, it's a great point. And it's been phenomenal defense so far.
And San Antonio, where they really have struggled, is only 5, or they've had 2 points on 5 transition plays.
Mm.
And the Knicks also have 0 points on 7 second chance plays right now. So, yeah, it's the offense hasn't been going too well for New York, and I think we're going to see again whether those Towns minutes at the start of the second quarter are going to be a moment for New York to establish some rhythm.
I'm getting more bold by the moment. I'm going to have one Prime Stats tab open now. See if that goes. At some point I'm gonna fly too close to the sun here, but at least for right now it's going well.
Spurs defense is so good in the first quarter, then they get tired. Yeah, I think there is something to that as well, because they are really. It's not only even necessarily the running around and closing out. To me, it's more the pressure. It's more pushing New York further out on the floor, further into the shot clock. That's what I think was missing a lot in the second half of Game 4, to where New York could kind of get into spots, penetrate the paint pretty easily. There wasn't just that kind of pressure where Brunson was feeling like he was going to get shoved into the backcourt. Will we see any of Carter Bryant or Barnes today? One of the two, surely.
Yeah, I mean, so in game 4, Carter Bryant played a total of 5 minutes and Barnes played 0. But you kind of have to play one of them to maintain rotation. We got asked about Shamet. Like Shamet, he played 20 minutes and 29 seconds. It was just in game 4. It was just that Alvarado was a better fit for what they needed, and he's the one who closed. But I mean, Shamet played real minutes.
Would this Knicks team be the worst champion of all time? I mean, if they win this game, they'll have been 15-3 in the playoffs. They'll have beaten a really, really good team that beat a really, really good team. And Wembanyama is just a singular force, I would say, as well. So No, not at all. I mean, they had one of the most dominant playoff runs of all time. I mean, it's somewhat comparable to like the 2001 Lakers. Now, they had already won a championship, but no, I mean, there are much worse champions than this.
I mean,
That is
oh,
a good
they
question.
have a weak number one in terms of like Brunson's top 10 player equity, but they have a lot of good players in the rotation, and they've been healthy too.
I mean, the Knicks might be, yeah, yeah. It's an interesting question of where they'd even rank this decade. Brunson on the hedge. Fox going to try OG. That's a nice shot there by De'Aaron Fox. He actually, it's not, he's not generating amazing shots, but he could definitely get his shot off. Now they set the screen deep in the backcourt, but Fox will just pick up Brunson. Alvarado, they're going to this double point guard look again. Alvarado crosses the formation. Now Fox, good switch there by Champagny. They did a good job of keeping Victor out of the action. Brunson has to just fire, and that's not good enough by Champagny. He's got to pressure up more and force him inside the arc there. Here's Fox. Shamet stopping him. Good help by Mitchell Robinson. Wembanyama has had little of the ball so far. Missed that three. That's a good shot for him, though.
And I like Anunoby tracking back for that rebound.
Brunson blowing by Champagny, and he just went down. It's going to be a jump ball. No foul there.
I'd like to see a replay on the contact, but I didn't see anything necessarily there live. And the ref, of course, had a better angle than we did on the camera.
So now a jump ball in which the Spurs will be favored, and then they can get a 2-for-1 in theory should they win it. Yeah, real struggle here for Jalen Brunson. He did just get that three, which was a big shot. So I guess he's got what two of their like 4 field goals. So
He has
maybe.
three. He has 3 of their 4 field goals.
And Castle does win the tip, and it bounces right off of Robinson. Here comes Fox. He likes the 2-for-1. He's got Shamet. Tries to get baseline. Spins back. Has space. He's not going to get it off. Vassell eluding Anunoby, and we're going to get a foul on Anunoby. And now this is actually a good setup for San Antonio to do something. This is something the Pacers have popularized of shooting with 14 in this situation and then crashing the glass really hard, knowing that your opponent doesn't want a fast break the other way because they want to get the last shot. Here's Fox. Brunson came over. Good hedge. Champagny, can he finally knock one down? He can. 23-13 San Antonio. They did not try to run the time down to 14, but they got a wide open three out of it. Now New York can get the last shot of the quarter. Alvarado trying to get past Fox. Fox shows his hands, looks at him like, hey, why'd you fall down? Brunson rejecting the screen. Castle's all over him. Brunson can't create space. Alvarado will have to shoot from way out. Left it short. And San Antonio, another banner first quarter, right on their average of a 10-point lead. And I think that actually would continue them having the best individual quarter average in finals history.
Some of the stats on it: the Knicks 11 points on 19 half court plays. That's 0.58 per play. They only turned the ball over once. They had a couple, but they had. Looking at the shot chart is really fascinating. So they took 18 shots in the half court, 2 at the rim, 8 threes where they were 3 of 8, and then 1 for 8 on 2s away from the basket. And that is a true Victor Wembanyama strength by comparison. The Spurs, a little bit under a point per half court play, 0.94. And then neither team particularly effective in transition, 2 transition points for each team. And that's, you could say that's advantage Knicks just relative to because the Spurs have better running talent, but that's pretty impressive overall for San Antonio to like put up that kind of a defensive performance.
All right, I'm going to give you my ranking of champions in the 2020s. Let's begin with last would be the 2021 Bucks. Then I would say the 2020 Lakers. Then the 2020 Ooh. This is a tough call, actually, between the 2023 Nuggets and the 2024 Celtics. Interested to see what y'all think in the comments there. I think what's happened since and before to the Celtics is actually an indication that maybe they weren't that good because they didn't play anyone in that whole playoffs. So I'm going to actually say the 2024 Celtics, then the 23 Nuggets. And so we've got this year's Knicks if they win it. We got 25 OKC, and we got 22 Golden State. Yeah, 22 Warriors, thumbs down. I mean, the Warriors, that Warriors team actually dominated pretty well in the playoffs, honestly. They had a little bit of a tough time with Memphis. But, I mean, is like Steph in those playoffs and what he was doing by the end was pretty ridiculous. Now, again, maybe we should downgrade that Celtic team for not being that good that they beat it in the finals. I don't know. That barely beat Miami. I just think that Warriors defense that Warriors defense in the playoffs might have been the best playoff defense. Maybe OKC last year. This San Antonio team is pretty damn good too. But the Knicks, I would put this Knicks team right up there with any this decade. Definitely, clearly better than those Lakers and Bucks. And yeah, I still think that 2022 Warriors team, it was just a fluke, blah blah. Like I disagree with that. I mean, they won that title pretty easily.
Thank you for the tip from ING. Question of good defense or bad offense first quarter. For me, it was good defense. Great defense for San Antonio. They were forcing the Knicks into tough shots. They were forcing them late clock, and they did a fantastic job. For me, it was more that than the Knicks weren't getting good shots, and they weren't making the hard shots for the most part.
So San Antonio now, we've got the Towns versus Wembanyama minutes here. Wembanyama looking to post up. Good pressure as Carter Bryant is in the game. Prevented the Wembanyama post up. Now he's going to try again. He'll set the screen. Fox trapped on the corner. Didn't find Wembanyama on the roll. He wasn't composed enough. He's just going to have to fire it. He ran out of there too fast. He could have found Wembanyama on the roll instead. Good defense initially there by the Knicks. Alvarado has had much tick here early. Hasn't done much yet. Turns the corner. Into the corner. Wembanyama running Anunoby off the line. Good help there by Fox. Knicks got him in the blender. Alvarado. Oh, no, he got blocked by Victor. Incredible block. Victor totally rope-a-doped him on that. Champagny running the lane. Fox, again, he missed Carter Bryant, who probably should have cut to the basket. Carter Bryant. They got to look for Wembanyama. He's guarded by Alvarado. Get him the ball. Instead, the Knicks with Anunoby helping out. Champagny looking for a second in a row. He's got it. 13-point Spur lead. Eventually, they use the gravity of Wembanyama to get something. McBride, who's really struggled in this series, holding the ball too long. Then Victor got a deflection. Just nothing there. Yeah, Victor, like that wasn't even a challenge for him to block that shot.
He didn't jump until the ball was out of Alvarado's hands, and then he blocked it. And we'll see with McBride on the floor. Mike Brown's pushed the buttons really well in this series. Does he have that touch in Game 5?
Towns with Wembanyama coming over. Pump fakes it. Nice cut. Shamet. Oh, no, sir. Victor blocks it off of Shamet. Victor has been unbelievable defensively early.
And that one, he knew just don't go in there. And Shamet tried to get it. Wembanyama got that with his left. He could have gotten that with his right. He could have gotten that with his head.
They started off with the 45 pick and roll, and Alvarado pulling down Stephon Castle as he tried to pick it up. Getting a couple of comments here. The 21 Bucks are under, or the 21 Suns are underrated, which led to the 21 Bucks being discounted. No, that Suns team was totally overrated. Their path was so easy.
Everyone got hurt.
They would have lost to the Lakers in the first round if AD didn't get hurt.
They were not dead to rights.
The Clippers without Kawhi. and they couldn't beat like a hobbled, like they had nobody to guard Giannis at all. Like that team was so small other than Ayton. And then what happened to them the next year, I think was somewhat revealing too. Here's Castle, goes through Alvarado, got stuffed by Towns. Victor saved it. Castle it does not get it off. Blocked by Anunoby. Nice play there. And again, Castle able to get into the lane. Other than the first half of game 3, when he gets in the lane, he just hasn't been able to score. Like and that probably is a foul on Towns, to be fair, but that's got to be a smoother finish by Castle than that.
That was such a great help reaction by Anunoby, too, to get that block late clock.
Oh, good pressure here by Harper, and he's forced an 8-second violation. Awesome pressure by San Antonio.
Who do they think they are, the Raptors? That was great.
Yeah, finally, Alvarado was allowed to get into trouble.
How he plays fast and loose with going over the front court line.
Yeah. Wembanyama didn't really make contact on the screen. Gets the pick and pop. Goes right at Towns. I thought that was a blocking foul on Towns. They don't call it. That's just not a foul anymore, which I kind of like. Here's Alvarado. Kicks out. Good rotation by Champagny. Now Towns. He'll try Victor. Victor stays in front of him. Nothing happening at all. Victor again. Impregnable. Here's Alvarado trying to turn the corner. Stopped by Bryant. That was a good job by Victor, not over-helping and just letting Bryant get that stop. Here comes Harper going right into Anunoby, and they will call a foul here on OG Anunoby. Finally, Harper getting the better of him in one of those transition confrontations.
And we've seen those plays at the rim with OG Anunoby have been some of the absolute best theater in this series, beyond all the other great theater in this series. And Harper, I think offensively, he's been the best Spur so far. Going into these free throws, he has 7 points, 3 of 3 from the field. And, the question, like, we'll see if this game is actually close late, but, to me, Harper is clearly one of the 2 best guards, at least so far.
This is Wembanyama getting stopped. Great job by Bryant getting back here. Alvarado tries him again, kicks out. Oh, this is that same defensive possession.
And I love that dig from
I was
Harper.
looking at the comments. I didn't realize they were showing like a full possession in live speed. Danny, New York, their offense hasn't been too good so far here.
What's the offensive rating?
I'm checking that out right now. Alvarado trying to get past the pressure. Again, good peel switch by the Spurs. Wembanyama trying to make Towns' catch difficult. He'll step out. Wembanyama closes him down beautifully. Wembanyama on Towns again. Here comes Hart back into the game. Good switch by Castle onto Towns. Towns backing in. Wembanyama lurking. Towns has to force it up. What a shot! But that's what the Knicks have been reduced to at this point. They have a 57 offensive rating right now.
Woof.
Hart is back on Castle. They want to have Harper go at McBride here. Wembanyama on the pop. He should just take that 3. Now he will. No, he eludes Towns instead. Harper loads up from the right wing. Missed it. Wemby pushing hard there. Could not get the rebound. Towns did, but Bryant took it away from him, and it'll remain Spurs ball.
Nice hustle here on the glass for the San Antonio Spurs. And, I think they've been doing very well overall in the possession game.
Yeah, Alvarado has not been it so far in this game. And Mike Brown sending Jalen Brunson back in after 3 minutes and 25 seconds of rest.
And I'll note, actually, possession game, true shots even, 28 all so far.
Into Wembanyama. They are not giving any soft calls so far in this game. Now he'll just shoot the 3. Very relaxed by Victor. I think they should do more of that with Victor holding the ball, those little ghost screens that force Towns to back off him for a second, and then Wembanyama picking up his second foul. He thought that Towns grabbed his arm, but should they really believe that? They can challenge. Yeah, here, watch this. So Towns is going to kind of back off. Castle runs through, and then Victor just shoots the 3 over. I guess he didn't run through. He just set a screen, and that was a very relaxed 3-pointer by Wembanyama. And is this going to be a challenge? Yeah, green light is on. Oh, this will be interesting. So that'll be, what would that be on Towns? 2? Yeah. And it
If
would be
successful, that would
Victor's.
be Towns second, and instead of Victor's second.
Yeah, all right. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, Clint says, I wish we would have gotten the Lakers Clippers series in 2020. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been pretty interesting. I mean, the Clippers dominated the Lakers for a lot of that period. All right, let's see if this. We're getting a replay of it here. Oh yeah, Towns grabbed his arm again. He reached totally around his left arm. This, I think, is going to be another offensive foul on Towns.
So they're getting, one of the comments is that Wemby hits him first. I didn't see a real hit first. I think the grab is the first real contact.
Yeah. Anna Mark says the 2006 Heat as the worst champion this century. That's probably up there. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably got to be up there. Who else would be on that list?
And Nate, the Knicks still have not. Am I saying this right? The Knicks still have not made a shot in the paint in this game. They are 0 for 10 in the paint. They have been fouled twice, but they're. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, 09 Lakers. The 09 Lakers did win 65 games that year. Let's see.
Should Wembanyama be a more?
Here, hold on, quick. Oh. All right, sorry. Foster was giving his explanation there. It will, in fact, be overturned and be a foul on Towns. So that'll be 2 on him and only 1 on Wembanyama. All right, sorry. What were you saying?
I can't remember anymore.
Yeah, you were taking a comment, I think.
I think I was. Let me see if I can find it. Should Wembanyama be a more willing perimeter shooter? Is rebounding just too valuable? I think he should be a more willing perimeter shooter now. I think you should be, as the Spurs, opportunistic with it, but I do think there are avenues for it.
Oh, how good would prime Pau Gasol be in today's game? You know, it's interesting. Like, would he have posted up a lot? Like, that was kind of what he did. I think his offensive rebounding could be pretty good. Defensively would have been interesting, too. I mean, I think he had a little more mobility to play like a conventional pick-and-roll defense. He probably would have shot more threes and been effective with it. So that would have been helpful. Yeah, I mean, his skill level is really high. He would have been used probably more as like a DHO passer. All right, so yeah, I didn't see this. Like, where is Wembanyama hitting him? He said he slapped him first. I didn't really see that. 45 pick and roll again. Wembanyama on the bench. They throw it straight ahead to Harper. Great cutoff by McBride. Harper still working. Good gap by Hart. Bryant now left to try Hart. Just slamming into him, and Bryant got it taken away by Brunson. That was just easy money for Brunson to steal it from Bryant. But it all started with great defense by McBride because they tried to almost short that 45 pick and roll and get Harper the matchup, and McBride just stopped him. Now McBride's caught on the side. Towns trying to get the ball. Good drive of the front. Kick out, corner 3. Bridges knocks it down. Bridges has been quite underutilized, perhaps, or maybe just not aggressive enough. Some of that transition stuff that Bridges was doing is here's a nice go and catch by Castle, stopped by Hart, who's been awesome defensively, tipped out. Cornette, corner 3, just in and out by Vassell, who hasn't done much this game. Now Cornette picking up Hart. Towns going to try Castle. Lumbering drive, missed, tipped around. Castle got back in bounds. Oh, Hart knocked it away. Hart is now saying that it went off of Castle. I'm not sure. I couldn't really see what happened there.
and they did not challenge it. So weren't sure enough.
Inside out dribble, Harper into the lane. Castle loading up for a three. Missed it. Good help there by the Knicks on the Harper drive. That was the right pass, but Castle couldn't knock it down. Spurs again back defensively in good order. Brunson, though, is on Cornet. Maybe it wasn't good order, but two Spurs converged on Brunson. Now they have a 5-on-4. Harper, man, not even going to try it. McBride, now he will. McBride cuts him off. Harper, nice, man. That is just beautiful basketball. Just so under control by Dylan Harper. I mean, if that's a shot that he's going to make regularly, the whole league is just in a heap of trouble. Now Bryant with the matchup on Towns. Towns force left. Bridges crossing over. This will be Hart's three over Cornet, and he knocks it down. Knicks finding the range now from three.
5 of 12 for them, 5 of 17 for San Antonio.
Johnson and Fox are at the table, as is Mitchell Robinson. Cornet not back to Castle. He'll change sides of the floor through Harper. Oh, and the back door was actually there. That was the right cut there by Harper, and Cornet just gave it up too quickly.
And we'll see the Wembanyama off minutes went so well for the Spurs in the first quarter. I think it was +5, and we'll see what they can do here.
Yeah, and Cornet versus Towns. Now, they did start giving up a few threes. Again, good pressure here by Harper. Hart sets the screen, so Johnson will pick up Brunson. Brunson likes this matchup. Johnson's held up okay in it, though, because Brunson can't really bully him. Those are the matchups that he likes the most. Has to go to the floater. Tip Robinson. Cornet got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds, but Robinson did well to keep that alive. Again, Brunson just not getting amazing looks at this moment. Cornet even lurking back there, and now Wembanyama will come in to take out Cornet. Let me see what the final total was for the Towns and Cornet minutes. 6-3 in those minutes. Kick out Robinson. Good denial by Harper on Brunson. Then Harper almost stole that pass as well. These Spurs do so good at peel switching. Weak side Hart closed down beautifully by De'Aaron Fox. He missed the shot, tipped out. Nick offensive rebound goes to Brunson, and they've got 3 threes now in a row. That is a killer for the Spurs. They got 2 stops and gave up 2 offensive rebounds. Now Fox fighting Wembanyama from the free throw line. That's a good shot, though.
Yeah, it's a shot we wanted to take more often.
Brunson. That's Harper staying right with him. Now he has to switch on to McBride. Was a little too slow, but McBride just continues to struggle like crazy. Vassell goes right past Brunson. Not good enough there by Brunson, but Vassell smoked the layup. Fortunately for San Antonio, good second effort by Keldon Johnson. Drew a loose
Did they
ball
call a
foul.
goaltend on this?
Oh, a defensive goaltend?
I think they called a defensive goaltend.
Let's see. So he misses the layup here. Oh, yeah. I thought that might have bounced off. Ooh, that is mighty close. But 2 points in the end. Now Fox is on Brunson. They don't switch it. Brunson shooting over Fox, and he's got confidence against Fox because he's not worried about getting knocked off his line. I'm not sure why San Antonio went away from Harper on Brunson there. Pick and pop. Wembanyama wide open. Left it short. Still a good shot for him, though. Now Vassell staying with Brunson as they took Fox off of him. They want to involve Keldon Johnson. Oh, good rejection there by Brunson, but Johnson staying with him beautifully once more. Brunson will try him again, down to 5. Late double team, and Brunson shoots over again. Why are they double teaming there? Just let Keldon Johnson play defense. So a 10-2 Knick run, and San Antonio has played so well, all of a sudden the Knicks starting to hit jumpers. Here's Victor again. Goes at Robinson, got tired of shooting jumpers, tipping around, trying to stay with it, gets it back. That was incredible. Wembanyama waves away Harper. He wants to try Robinson again. He's getting frustrated at these misses, but Robinson got another stop. Now Victor missed Vassell. Fox will have to jack it, and he hits.
Big shot there by De'Aaron Fox, and we saw the Knicks get some late clock magic. Spurs get some of their own there. That looks dead in the water.
Fox switching on to Brunson. They are willing to give this up. Brunson, again, has the strength advantage. Fox goes for a bad steal. Now Brunson in a good position. And we got a foul here on Fox. Again, not good enough defense there by Fox. Just going for that steal left him in a bad position. I would continue to spam that matchup as New York. Question, they cannot auto-review that goaltend unless it's in the last 2 minutes of the game. It would have required a challenge otherwise. Man, those rest of team numbers are pretty rough for New York. By the way, I'm loving the speed of this game. It is in marked contrast to what took place in Game 5, which was one of the longest games, non-overtime finals games that we've seen.
A number of extended reviews and teams in the bonus. And that was without really Haka in Game 4. It was just took it forever.
Brunson missed the first free throw. That was a big shot by Fox late in the clock. The Knicks had made a few of those themselves. Towns is back in. Fox splits the pick and roll. That's the right pass. Castle corner three. Nope, Spurs have gotten some pretty good looks, I would say, but they are not hitting them anywhere close to though that they did in the first half of Game 5. Now it's Wembanyama on Bridges. Brunson working the pick and roll again. Good job by Vassell getting back in front. Kick out Bridges. Fox switched on to him. Bridges above the arc. Again, Fox just a little too late there. Yeah, I would actually close this with Harper and no Castle. Although Castle now is going to get to the foul line right as I say that. He is 0 of 6 from the field.
And the shots that the Knicks are conceding with Castle, they're giving him the ball in the right spots, but he's just not making those shots, which is why the Knicks are conceding them in the first place. For the game, San Antonio 6 of 20 from 3, the Knicks 6 of 15. So that's 40% for the Knicks, 30% for the Spurs.
Yeah, New York is 4 of 22 from 2. Our luck-adjusted score does not like that at the moment. It actually has the Knicks scoring 4 more points than they deserve, in theory.
Wow.
And was that foul on Towns? That's a good question there.
Yes.
Yes.
It is on Towns.
Well. That could really change things, although the Knicks did pretty well in the non-Towns minutes for once. Robinson being more playable is certainly useful, although they can't do it now because we're about to be under 2 minutes, but going to the hack with Towns in foul trouble would be something that I think would bother New York.
And that Brunson pull-up too is their only made shot in the paint in this game. They are 1 for 14 from 2. In the half court, they are 1 for 10. By comparison, the Spurs are 8 of 18, and in the half court, they are 3 of 10.
Well, and Danny, you remember how the Spurs were 2 of 14 at the rim in the second half of Game 4? The Knicks are 0 for 10 at the rim right now.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, San Antonio, not much better, 5 of 12. This has been a defensive struggle, to be sure. And where New York has been holding it together is that they are 5 of 12 on arc threes and then 2 of 3 in the left corner. That's those 7 threes. San Antonio also has 7, but they have not had the same percentage. But to me,
an interesting question from Matt. Do you think the NBA's attempt to create parity has been positive? The last 2 finals have been the best in a while, but I don't like how teams are limited by the second apron. So I think that the idea, we're on this run of new champions. I believe this will be the 8th consecutive year with a new champion. And there's something fun about that. I love that different fan bases can celebrate. But the aprons and the Oklahoma City Thunder, to me, are a great example of how this has gone too far and gone wrong, because they built this team. Yes, technically they didn't draft Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but they acquired him early on. And to see a team, and you could argue the Celtics on this standpoint, though they had more that was assembled in certain ways. To have those teams broken up because they're too prohibitively expensive when it's not a mercenary team, I don't like that. I don't think that's a system that should be there. So I think that there are elements of this one that are good, but the other part that's going to change here is like, yeah, the parity, but San Antonio, because they got in before the ladder got pulled up, getting Wembanyama and Harper, and to a lesser extent Castle, in quick succession, all with top picks, like that is going to give them an advantage once these guys get into maturity.
How do luck adjusted stats handle offensive rebounds? Basically, for missed or made shots, we assume that they would have had about a 30% offensive rebound rate and then scored appropriately off of that. So again, it's just an estimate. If you go into prime stats, you can see we show our work on basically everything in the luck adjusted stats. So you can see exactly how it works. There have been any reward homegrown talent proposals that will create more flexibility with the apron? I mean, I'm sure people have brought it up. Zach Lowe's talked about it a lot, but I don't necessarily see that being a priority. Castle makes the first free throw.
Yeah, I've previously proposed the idea that contracts that you have kind of a second calculation, and so the contracts of players that you drafted, or you could have some sort of line that those don't count at their full amount in terms of the aprons.
So Robinson in again. Why is Wembanyama out? They're going to go with a 2-3 zone here. Nope, now they switch out of that. Bridges missed the three against Cornet. San Antonio looking to get transition. Great transition defense by the Knicks here. Bridges picking up Vassell early. They move it weak side. This is a pretty ugly offensive lineup by the Spurs. Castle trying to attack, still without a field goal. No Harper, no Wembanyama. To me, those are their two best offensive players. Here's Brunson engaging Cornet in the pick and roll. Now they move it. Bridges, late close Vassell, just in and out. Bridges has missed two in a row. That was good offense, though, by Brunson to force them to actually double team him instead of just being in the strong side zone. And Anunoby hasn't done much in this game. Fox going at the Brunson pick, fades away, and missed that mid-ranger. He can get hot from there, but since the high ankle sprain, not really. Brunson transition three. Man, another miss by the Knicks. They got hot earlier. Now can Castle take advantage? Nope, Knicks are back.
Yeah, I really Wembanyama only has 2 fouls. It's not like he's in foul trouble.
I really don't care for this lineup for Mitch Johnson at all. Taken away. Hart got shoved in the back and somehow lifted it. Was that Fox who fouled him again?
I believe it was.
Yeah, I just don't get the Fox infatuation at this point. And Mitch Johnson, he was adamant. I mean, this is just a horrible push. Why you put 2 hands on his back? What are you doing?
And didn't even prevent the shot.
No.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox he typically is this Spurs' third best guard, and he is playing more than the other two.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would actually prefer it be he and Castle here, or sorry, he and Harper here with Castle on the bench. Especially because with Towns out, you don't really need Castle as much.
That's true.
Is Harper in some kind of foul trouble? Did I miss that? Is Wemby only has 1, right?
Wemby has 2.
Okay.
And
so
Harper
they
has
reviewing
0.
this for a flagrant?
I don't think this should be a flagrant, though there isn't really a basketball play part of it. So, like, I think that conceptually plays like this, they could consider it more often, or maybe modify a clear path or something to get there. But the way that it's called right now, I don't think it should be elevated.
Yeah, well, anytime you can get your superstar player off the floor and then the 2 guards who are combined 2 out of 14 instead of the guy who's 4 of 5 from the field, get those guys on the floor instead of him, you got to do it.
Full game.
Yeah, I guess
So both teams around 0.7. Oh, here, sorry.
Are they gonna give their ruling here? Oh wow, you're like way ahead of me, huh?
Well, no, my second TV is way ahead. So I saw
Okay.
Foster on the screen. But like, so I as I put it, I think that plays like that, there isn't really a basketball purpose for it. I would like for more things like that to be called flagrant because there's no reason for it to be in the game, but that's not the way they typically call
I mean, I would agree. I didn't see that as a flagrant. So Harper's going to finally come back in now. I mean, that I still, so 2 to make 1 for Josh Hart here because he made the shot.
Well, and they retain possession.
Yeah, that's the bigger deal. Yeah, any kind of a reckoning for Fox is going to be delayed because of the fact that he was injured. And if he weren't injured, he probably would be playing a lot better, I will say. Double team on Brunson. Robinson, kick out. They've got in a rotation. Here's Bridges. Probably should have done an alley-oop there, but if you make the floater, you got nothing to apologize for. Now, if Robinson gets involved in any kind of an action, they should foul him here. Here's Vassell, who again has been pretty quiet. Harper working on Anunoby. Spin, fade away, missed. Rebound Champagnie, knocked around. Hart knocking it around. Loose ball foul on Hart. Yeah, that actually would have been a chance for Vassell to just foul Robinson when he had the ball.
Mm.
He has 0 fouls. Fox now guarded by Anunoby. Again, they've got Harper guarded by Hart, so Brunson is hanging out on Champagnie. With Castle out of the game. Another 3 by Fox, another miss. Great box out by Bridges on Vassell. New York can actually tie it here. Not really enough time for a 2-for-1, but Anunoby has the size advantage on Fox. Cornette coming over. Robinson staking out space down low. Here's Hart on the drive. Cut off by Harper, and he missed it short. Rebounded by Fox. Fox will back it out. That's what he does. Come on, no laugh there?
I was figuring out how snarky to go.
Here's Vassell. Can he get this off? He can. Count it. That was a big play to push it back to 5. Certainly seems like the Spurs should have been up by a lot more, but we're going to have ourselves a pretty interesting second half of Game 5. Neither of these teams seems to create much separation. We'll be back for the second half. All right, we back, and this could be the last half of basketball of the season. And certainly, Danny, it would seem to me that San Antonio missed a golden opportunity in that first half.
Their defense was so good in that first quarter. The Knicks couldn't make a two at all. And yet, still, the Spurs only lead by 5 at halftime. And that's a real concern. I think that they were surprisingly sitting Wembanyama more than I would have expected. Wembanyama, he only played 17 minutes in that first half, and maybe that's resting him for the end of the game, but I thought that they really missed him towards the end of that first half.
So San Antonio will have first possession here, going with that same starting lineup that they've had for every game that Wembanyama has been healthy in these playoffs. Castle being bothered by Hart, looking to turn the corner up to Wembanyama. They have not gotten any kind of an alley-oop, but that is going to be 4 on Karl Anthony Towns on the first play. And I love that play call. Also, like letting Wembanyama, let's see this one here. Will they challenge here? That's pretty limited contact, but there's enough. And yeah, they're going to just. So what are they doing here? They're going with Mitchell Robinson, yeah. Weak side Fox, corner 3 over OG. Another miss by De'Aaron Fox. He's 1 of 5 from downtown. Back to Brunson. Knicks can cut it to a one-possession game. Anunoby will try to do it. Short, rebound Wembanyama. Outlet to Fox. OG picking him up. They want to post up Castle on Brunson. That's not there. Here's a go and catch by Wembanyama. Lobs a very awkward pass to Castle, and it will be an offensive foul on Castle. And to me, though, that's Wembanyama throwing a bad pass that just put Castle in too difficult of a position.
I agree. And worth noting that the Knicks were a surprising +3 in Mitchell Robinson's minutes in that first half.
Yeah, whereas the Cornette versus Towns minutes also went okay. So neither team can score. Not a surprise here to start the quarter. That's what's taking place for most of the game. Castle kept Brunson on the side. Now Fox trying to bother Bridges. Bridges engages and floats up his second floater of the game. Bridges not known for his passing and was able to get the touch. I think I would try to go with him more. Weak side Fox, that's the right pass. Champagny over Bridges, knocks it down. Champagny's third 3 of the game puts San Antonio back up 6. Now again, they're trying to keep Brunson on that left side of the floor. Castle gets through the screen. Robinson not a threat out there. They want to screen for Bridges. What'd you say?
I said Mitchell should shoot it.
Brunson, tough step back over Castle. Spurs again, just not really trying to run, even off a make. Knicks did well to get back. Castle, nope. As a second offensive foul of the quarter on San Antonio with Champagny getting hit.
And that's an illegal screen, and I'd like to actually see that called more often because guards just get lazy with it, and offenses have enough advantages right now. Off arm and that.
Yeah, again, I really, to not start Dylan Harper in this half to me is just a massive mistake. And they can't take out Fox or Castle, fine. Take out someone else instead. Brunson forced away from the screen. Pulls up, got a good look. Robinson shoved Wembanyama out of the way to get that rebound without a call. It was a very low foul first. Here's Anunoby on the drive. Got it stripped. Wembanyama bothers him. Tried to pass off, and Vassell took that. Now they've got a 5-on-3. Champagny. Fox finds Victor, and he got shoved in the back too. They're going to give this call to him.
And that was a great quick pass by De'Aaron Fox. Gets in the corner, sees Wembanyama running, and gets it to him for the and one. That foul is on Mitchell Robinson. And are they going to review this?
You would think that they would. It didn't look any worse to me than the other one live. So this is I'm very interested to see this because it was pretty limited contact on the other one. I mean, he's actually in the air on that one, where Hart wasn't even in the air. I mean, I wouldn't consider this a flagrant normally, but if the other one was, doesn't this one have to be?
I think the contact was slightly lighter, but no, I mean they're as close to identical plays as you really can get in this circumstance.
Well, that could be huge. That would give Victor two to make one, and then also San Antonio ball. So that would be a 3-possession lead.
Yeah, and a chance to push it to double digits even if things go very well for San Antonio.
Yeah, we didn't really get a chance to go back to that Towns call. I think that's one they could have let go, personally. But I liked the play call. All right, here Foster's going to give us his decision. We'll get back to that. Yep, upgraded. When's the last time there's been 2 flagrant fouls on and ones in a game? Especially when it wasn't like a 3-pointer, foot underneath.
Yeah, it wasn't a Pachulia or something like that. And so, yeah, this is as we know from previous experience, 2 to make 1, and then you get the ball.
Yeah, Victor back to the line here where he missed those 2 key free throws at the end of game 4. And he missed that one. But Spurs will maintain possession. Oh, wait.
2 to make 1.
That's right. He gets 2 to make 1. I was just not even using my brain. Yeah, that's what a full day of parenting before doing this will get you for. Yeah, strange to call each other flagrant starting in Game 5 of the finals. I think they just want to maintain a certain level of decorum. I think overall it's been pretty well refereed. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. Let more regular contact go, but if you make a non-basketball play, it's a flagrant. Now Victor going to step up for Castle. They go under on Castle. Now they set the screen. Castle working the baseline, has to gun it weak side. Fox was in a weird position. Champagny eluding OG, and he hits the 3. So that was a huge possession for San Antonio, and they're up 10. That was a 6-point possession. Now Brunson has not really gone at Champagny much in this game. He's going to try that. Goes to that strong left hand. Victor comes over, reaches in, and foul by Castle. This will not be free throws, however.
And that is Stephon Castle's 3rd personal.
Wait, Brunson's going to the foul line like he's shooting free throws. That can't be. Yeah, this cannot be free throws. How is that free throws?
Okay, I'm Brunson, not sure it is.
Yeah. No way. He had not started his shooting motion.
No, he didn't start his shooting motion until after the foul had occurred. And he hadn't gathered or anything like that.
Well, he had gathered, but he had not started his free throw motion. Now Brunson angry at the lack of a call. Corner Hart run off the line. Good denial by Castle to not let Brunson get it back. OG finding Bridges in the corner. Good contest by Fox. That was great defense again, enabled by Wembanyama. Back to Victor. Goes at OG across the lane. Should have kicked out to Vassell. Instead, he shoots over 2 guys and scores.
And this is a gargantuan start to the 3rd quarter for the Spurs with the Towns foul trouble and an 11-4 beginning.
Should they go back to Towns? Here's Bridges in the corner off the flare screen. Nice play there. Mitchell Robinson preventing Wembanyama from rotating. If they can cross the formation like that, that weak side corner will be open off that flare screen. Victor wants Castle to get the handoff. Hart denied him. Victor will shoot it over Mitchell Robinson. Not much of a possession there by San Antonio. Hart and Brunson tells Hart to get out of the way. He wants to go at Champagny. Oh, he hit him right in the face. No call. And scores. I thought Champagny got shoved in the face there. Maybe I didn't see it right. The referees certainly didn't seem to agree. Now they'll set up a Spain pick and roll here. Weak side. Vassell on the drive. Steps around Robinson. Lobs it up. Nice pass. And they will wave off The shot, however, another foul on an alley-oop. The Knicks have exploited this loophole pretty relentlessly. Yeah, I'm not sure that foul takes place before Wembanyama has his hand on the ball and he's starting to shoot it. Maybe they said it was a body foul, and now we're going to get some Hook Porty minutes here with Mitchell Robinson being exhausted after 3 minutes.
Aren't we all?
Or is it a... Yeah, I mean, so now they're going to try to set a double screen for Harper. Turns the corner, goes right past Anunoby, and he's money on that layup. Back to 9.
This is when the Knicks should be going with OG at center.
Good call. I agree with you. That's a great point with Kornet in the game.
Yeah.
Good pressure by Castle on Bridges. He'll engage Kornet. Corner Anunoby. Oh, what a block by Vassell. That was awesome. I think Anunoby, he maybe was sort of in victor mode there where he didn't think he could attack, but instead he thought he had plenty of room. He also probably needs to sidestep a little more there, but that's just an unbelievable play by Vassell.
Yeah, he and Vassell jumped high on the initial block. I hadn't fully appreciated that till the replay, so that was a really good second jump from Vassell. And in these playoffs, we've seen some great.
And they are going small, Danny. They are going
small,
especially going Hart and another big. That didn't make sense to me. So will Mitch Johnson respond here? Are they going to try to get away with Kornet on Hart? Hart trying to set some screens. They get it into Shamet against Champagny. Brunson coming off the screen, blows by Kornet and scores. First blood to the Knicks with the small lineup.
And a great way of using Hart as a screener to get Brunson downhill with no help.
Kornet's open underneath. They missed him. Champagny fires the 3 over Brunson. I thought that was actually an okay shot because Brunson is not a great closeout guy. Hart looking to attack in transition. Spurs again get back beautifully. Brunson looking to work through the handoff. Got a good look though. And, oh man, they almost lost that defensive rebound. Again, just not much alacrity for the Spurs in transition. But here's a Harper on the blow-by. Missed it. He kind of got shoved in the back. They didn't give him that call. Now Anunoby on the attack. Kornet is lurking. Anunoby somehow scores over 2 guys. What a finish.
And now it's down to 5.
And timeout, Mitch Johnson. They have been very aggressive in getting Wembanyama rest. And we'll see if they... I would go back to him here because I want to force them to put Hook Porty on the floor.
Layoff Legend says Harper needs to play the second most minutes. I agree. I think that he's been their best guard. And now the context that we don't know is if Harper is still dealing with this groin issue, but we're not seeing it in his play. So my instinct would be this is just Mitch Johnson being conservative. Oh, he's the rookie, all that. But and this is, we had this extended discussion early in the playoffs about whether Dylan Harper was their Manu Ginobili. And what the theory I posited was, no, he's not, because he's just way better. So we'll have to see. I think he might be their best guard now. So by next year, by 2 years, it's
Is that me dunking in the background? No, it's just something that a family member who doesn't know anything about basketball got me, and I was just like, yeah, I'll put it here, just as a, it was a nice thought on a gift. But yes, I did used to be able to dunk. There was a time. Maybe I even still could. I've not gotten in a gym in a while.
You're not getting your Marcus Johnson on?
I'm guessing I probably couldn't anymore. The last time I tried was age 42, and I'm 46 now. So, but I have been working on my body a little bit.
Matt said, I just remembered the Mike Brown coached Fox on the Kings. Do you think Brown has instituted a great game plan against him? I actually thought that that Mike Brown was giving Fox too much respect in the early part of the series. But I thought that the game 4 shift in approach with Anunoby on him late, I don't know if that was really that. I mean, that was respecting because OG Anunoby is their best perimeter defender. But I think that was better tactically than some of the stuff we've seen before.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are killing Mitch Johnson, and I think there have been some moments where he could have been better in this series for sure. I think he's been pretty damn good throughout these playoffs, though, and probably to me outcoached Mark Daignault in the last series, who is supposed to be one of the better coaches. And maybe it at moments in game it hasn't been perfect, but like these Spurs are really connected defensively. The complex defense that they're playing, getting these young guys to switch and communicate as well as they do. I try to call it out whenever I see it, because I don't think it's something that you see a lot of, especially for a team this young. And the scheme that they're playing, keeping Wembanyama close to the basket, that's something that Sean Sweeney, I think, has been a big part of too. But obviously, and maybe you're going to say Sweeney deserves more of the credit, but we're not in a position to say that. The Spurs coaching staff, I think, has been very, very good.
And I have my issues with some of the stuff they've done, but especially as the start. And I mean, it's to get young players, even outside of Victor Wembanyama, to buy in and as well as they have defensively. Like, that's not something that's super easy to do. We've seen a lot of successful teams, or less successful teams, talented teams, not buy in. And so give him credit for that. But with great power, with great opportunity comes great responsibility. And so how they manage things with Harper, how they figure all this stuff out, it's a lot of pressure on the front office and on Mitch Johnson moving forward.
So New York getting back into it again, and Victor is back in. They're going to go with Hart on him now. So OG's off the floor too. This isn't going to go well. They're too small right now. Harper, tough step back. Man, that is just absolute money. And now he gets to guard Jalen Brunson too. So I think this is one of their better groups. They do have Keldon Johnson on the floor. Harper gets over the screen on Brunson, still not letting him get anywhere. But Fox was too far up the floor. That enabled the penetration. Hart going to try Victor. Mitch Johnson says, give it space. Here's a three by Shamet on the move. Victor got back. So now they're out of order, going for the offensive rebound. Harper has Brunson. Look to throw it up. Should throw it up. Does throw it up. And Victor scores. Nice work there by Harper.
A lot less palatable to play, I guess, hard at center and no OG when Wembanyama's on the floor.
Here's Brunson firing immediately over Victor. And Brunson is down. He may have sprained an ankle here. Here's Vassell in transition three-pointer right back. That was huge because the Knicks had just scored. And Brunson, he's going to get a technical here.
And
that's good restraint by Tyler Ford. God, Rick Brunson's getting involved now in the discussion.
I'm shocked. I would like to see the contact here.
That should have been a flagrant one, and
Absolutely.
Victor Wembanyama should be suspended for the next game.
Yeah, should, and that's right. That would be an automatic suspension for Game 6.
And I think they are going to retroactively give Victor Wembanyama a flagrant one, and I think he's going to be suspended for the next game if there is a next game.
And I remember we got comments because we did the live call of Game 4 of like he needs to watch out for Zaza Pachulia, and I said Victor Wembanyama doesn't have to get that close, but that is the exact circumstance where he felt like he needed to, and yeah, that absolutely should have been called.
Yeah, now I thought the last flagrant on Victor was pretty soft, but they've been giving a lot of pretty soft flagrants. I mean, that is a flagrant. There's a reason. I mean, in that one, that is not like some sort of like crazy jump forward or anything by Brunson. He's trying to just shoot that quick.
So dude says if he's suspended so lame, only 4 points. Well, that's the rules. Like, I brought this up years ago with Draymond Green. Like, well, I went through all of his flagrant points that year that he got suspended in the finals, and it was like, well, one of them was that he tackled Michael Beasley. I'm like, for Wembanyama, he got a legitimate flagrant 2 for elbowing Nasri in the face. Then you want to argue that the rule should be different? Well, you shouldn't elbow a guy in the face when you don't have to. So. And I will say this, if the league does not retroactively give Wembanyama a flagrant for that, then I will lose a lot of respect for the league office because it is so blatant. It's not a circumstance. If you go, oh, well, the best players that if you have the benefit of going back, like if you miss it live, I think that was a bad one to miss live. But if you miss it live, that's one thing. But if they don't look at that and say, oh, yeah, that was obviously a flagrant one, I will lose respect for the league straight up.
All right. Well, yeah, we got to actually let's do this as an official Watfo, Danny. Well, I guess we don't know if there will be a game 6.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, the thing about the flagrant is only 2 players have ever been suspended for flagrant points that I can recall. And it's Draymond Green and Victor. Now,
like, and you say, oh, like, oh, well, you shouldn't call this differently if, oh, because it's his 4th flagrant point. That's total crap. Like, you shouldn't change it was a clear violation of this rule. The Spurs know this rule better than anybody. And if you're going to say, oh, well, it doesn't apply because this guy's a star, that's total crap.
Zach Randolph got suspended for a game 7 for punching somebody.
Yeah,
that was like for fighting. I think the only 2 guys who've ever, I mean, well, and Wembanyama hasn't yet, but the only guy I can recall who ever got suspended for flagrant points in the playoffs was Draymond. Certainly in the dunk down era, that's the case. Let's see here.
So
yeah, I mean that's just what it is. That is a now. Well, I don't know. Maybe
the foot a little bit.
Yeah, maybe because he's not moving forward recklessly. So Brunson able to stay in the game here. Mitchell Robinson is back in. Yeah, so maybe that's where he gets out of it, is that he kind of just jumped himself, and it wasn't like a Zaza reckless closeout moving under him. So yeah, I'm not sure that anytime he lands on his foot, it's a flagrant. I think there might have to be some sort of a movement forward there. I
do think that's going to be what the league office does if they don't. I
mean, surely they'll look for any excuse to avoid it, which I think is fine. You got to be damn sure about it. Now Bridges just goes down here, and a jump ball with 2 seconds. So, Bridges is concerned, I guess, that he was fouled and caused to fall down. I didn't see what happened. He said he got hit in the face, I guess. I wasn't really paying attention to that. And yeah, he did in fact get hit in the face. Now, he also elected to fall down, which he didn't have to do. So 2 on the shot clock here. That's all the Knicks will have if they can maintain control. And Shamet gets it back. He did get it off. Oh, that was actually a pretty darn good look in that situation. Harper pushing it up. Fox will set the screen. He wants to go after Brunson. That's interesting. They instead of just throwing it to Fox guarded by Brunson just hedges there. Fox forced towards the sideline. Harper a step behind the line. Man, that guy's good.
And that pushes the lead to 12 for San Antonio.
Vassell switching on to Brunson, forcing him right. Oh, that's good help by Harper, tying him up again. And the Spurs will again be favored on this one. What a game this has been for Dylan Harper, Danny.
He has been absolutely fantastic. Still didn't start either half, but he's been awesome. So 18 points, 7 to 10 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Plus, what is he? Plus 8?
He is. Yes, plus 8. Harper wins the tip. No, Robinson stepped in front of Wembanyama. Wembanyama has to be more physical there to prevent that from happening. Harper still into Brunson again. Fox comes over to double team. Brunson, tough fadeaway, tipped around. Wembanyama, shoved down by Robinson. Do they call it? No, we will stay here instead.
Called this foul on Keldon Johnson.
Now, I guess Wembanyama got hit in the face. Would they challenge again, or are they going to save it here? I would probably save it.
I would save it. This isn't putting a foul on somebody who really matters in terms of like their overall stuff, and it's not a huge circumstance.
Yeah, I like the way this lineup has been playing for San Antonio. Let's see. So it gets tipped around. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Wembanyama got elbowed right in the face there. They do not call it. And that's going to be a foul. Brunson with a solid fall down there. Yeah, that's the sort of play, again, I think just referees should just not fall for that. Just say, hey, you could have stayed on your feet there. Play basketball.
Third team foul on the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, Brunson, he anticipates the contact and allows himself to be knocked down, so it is a foul. But if you're going to fall down when you make no effort to stay on your feet, I think you should just not get the call. Like, he didn't get hit hard enough to be shot like out of a can like that. And now another foul here. Third foul of the possession on San Antonio.
And I believe that's the fourth team foul on San Antonio Spurs. So the Knicks.
So now they can foul Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson.
Let's see if Mike Brown is going to take him out immediately. Yeah, he's going to go back to Josh Hart. And this is, again, just Mike Brown not even being willing to consider it. That is something that I do question. So now, what are they going to do about Victor? At least they have Anunoby on the floor. That'll probably be the matchup, but it's just so much easier to throw the ball up to Victor. Victor just needs to make himself available underneath. Clarkson getting his first tick of the game. Harper, again, he's been really good on Brunson. Oh, Victor got a deflection. Hart, and then another deflection by Victor, but it's taken away by Clarkson. Here comes Anunoby into Johnson. Missed it. That was never a fresh shot clock. Here comes Victor. Finding Johnson. Brunson set up for the charge. Harper tried to dunk on Hart. They did not give the foul to Brunson. Instead, it'll be Harper getting 2 free throws. Good verticality by Johnson there. And I love this no call on the no pass and crash. Yeah, see, Johnson, he's stepping around him a little bit. That was a good job to me. And Harper is clearly fouled by Hart.
Gets a lot of arm there by Josh Hart. And yeah, and like Keldon Johnson tried to avoid it. I don't like pass and crash charges anyway. And so that they don't need to call it. Just
he wasn't out of control. He was under control enough to slow down, try to step around him a little bit. Would you go back? I would just go back to Towns here.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Like, yeah. It's especially because it's getting away from you. Towns is bad at playing with fouls, but you're hemorrhaging right here. And I mean, you want to try to give yourself a chance to end this in 5.
Yeah, I would say, especially because this is winning this one's kind of found money. So why not just like you don't have to be like all conservative about it. Just go for it. Spurs now up 13. Clarkson trying to set a screen in the backcourt does give Brunson a free ride with Cornette in the game now. Second stint already for Cornette. I don't know why he's in right now to go up against this small lineup of the Knicks. I guess they feel like they need to save Wembanyama for the Towns minutes. Here's Harper going right at Brunson. Brunson actually cut him off pretty well. Harper steps through, gets his own rebound, and finishes with the right. Anytime Harper can get Brunson like that, he should go right at him. Cornette's guarding Bridges on the weak side. They're trying to zone up behind the play. Brunson, and they're going to give him... I mean, that's not basketball by Jalen Brunson right there.
He's not even really trying a move. It's spiritually similar to like the bridge to nowhere foul, where you're not really trying anything from a basketball perspective. All you're doing is baiting a foul.
Yeah, I mean, is there some contact with the chest? But yeah, like he's not shoving him from what I can recall. Maybe we'll see a replay of it and I'll feel differently. But Brunson is really amping up some of the foul baiting here.
And he really is the only guy who has had it for them offensively. He has... I believe this will be his chance for his 26th point, and the rest of the team is basically at that level too.
Yeah, so I think Mitch Johnson, he did say that in reviewing it, he thought that he did play Victor too much, and he didn't take the opportunity to get him rest, and with a 14-point lead, maybe that's the chance to do it.
And Wembanyama so far in Game 5, he's only played 21 minutes though.
Yeah.
I was very critical of Johnson for overplaying Wembanyama. That might be shifting it a little far the other way, but they're ahead by 13, so I'm closer to okay.
Let's see what they're going to run here. Not a ton of shooting on the floor for San Antonio here. And now Spurs will get free throws with Johnson getting hit in the face, and he wants a review.
There have been points where I thought that this game has been like they were letting contact go. I think now the Scott Foster Tyler Ford combination is just kind of calling every time a guy moves their head. We didn't get a good replay on that one, but I think they're rewarding this stuff more than I like right now in this third quarter.
Yeah, so let's at the next break, let's do an official Watfo on Wembanyama getting suspended. Obviously, no. Well, I guess, yeah,
it would come out either way, even if they lost.
Yeah. I mean, I think let's say though, if they lose it, it's a no bet though, because it's, yeah. I mean, not bet, but whatever. Missed free throw. Spurs have the offensive rebound. Johnson going to load up. No, he's going to blow by Hukporti. Up to Cornette. Hukporti, what a play to get back and block that. He contested Johnson at the line and stopped the alley-oop. Incredible hustle. Clarkson 3. No. And Cornette did well to get back for that rebound as well. So San Antonio in control right now, looking for more, up 14. Castle stripped, fouled. And was that Hukporti on the foul? Yeah, watch where Hukporti is. How does he break up this alley-oop? That was incredible. Like, he's behind Keldon Johnson when he throws this pass. That just shows you, and that's not a foul either because he goes through the hand. That just shows you and Hukporti is not considered some unbelievable athlete. The amount of ground that NBA players can cover as another missed free throw by the Spurs is insane.
Yeah, both teams, as of right now, I believe, have missed 3 free throws, and now Wembanyama coming back in the game for Cornette.
So the Spurs will go with the 3-guard alignment and Champagnie. Johnson and Cornette will both sit down. I like this group here. Castle still is not scratched from the field. And this would be only his 3rd point. Brunson has gone this whole quarter. Towns has gone very little of this quarter. Victor is up high. Castle gets back into him. Looping pass, no advantage. Brunson will get right back to that with Harper helping. He tried to find Hart, but this is really a limited offensive group. Hart, I do also question here playing Hart and Hukporti together, although Hart hits a difficult mid-ranger that's basically found money for New York. And so who is Brunson guarding? He's guarding Champagnie. So they'll go to the 45 pick and roll here. Good screen set by Victor. Fox up top. Champagnie three-pointer. No. Victor keeping it alive. He did save it. Kicks it out top. Brunson, man, he is so good at those sorts of plays, knowing where the ball has to go. Brunson into the lane. Fox, good verticality, forced a miss. Hukporti, physical rebound. McBride, he got stopped. Now Clarkson, he got blocked from behind by Harper. What a block.
Nice hustle there from Harper. Kind of saw the floater coming and was able to get to it.
Yeah, again, that's good recognition by Harper, knowing normally Clarkson's going to the corner of the backboard, but he knows Victor is there, so Harper knows that Clarkson will have to pull up a little short, and he blocked it. Yeah, I like taking Castle out here. This is to me, this is their best lineup right now. Corner McBride. Victor runs him off. Now Brunson trying to attack. Harper has fouled Brunson from behind on a three-pointer. I'm not sure how Tyler Ford had the angle to see that, because I had the same angle that he did, and I couldn't see it.
I'd like to get a replay of it. Maybe there was some contact to his side, but I didn't get a great look at it.
You know, this is very similar to the first half of Game 3. Yeah, I mean, that is a very limited touch, but there's no reason for Harper to touch him there.
Yeah, honestly, I'm fine with that call, and especially like for remember, you put your hand on the back, they're going to see that and they're going to call it.
Yeah. Robinson will come back in now since it's under 2 minutes and they can't intentionally foul him. Although they certainly still could. Anytime he gets involved in an action to go set a screen, they could just give him a shove. Although they don't want Victor to commit that foul. So that was the Hart mid-ranger. Again, New York looking to get back into contact after that 3-shot foul. Brunson in the midst of another really excellent game. 4 of 7 from 3. He's got 30 points now. Well, he will after he makes his free throw. Sorry about that.
Spoilers.
Yeah, Brunson really has not done a ton from the field. Now Fox goes right past him into the lane, floater. That's what I like there. Fox really attacking hard. Brunson's hedge was ineffective. He blew right past him. Brunson crossing over on Harper, who's already fouled him a couple of times this quarter. Then, like, Fox keeps doing that where he's really gapping, I think, more than is necessary off the corner, and he's just getting lucky. Here's Harper, got it knocked away from behind. Here's Fox. Back out, Harper. Loads up from the left corner. Way short. Fox tipping it. Robinson has it.
And the other thing about Fox is he's the worst help defender on the team, so it's not like he's actually doing much to deter.
Clarkson. He gets his floater. Again, they were gapping maybe a little bit too much there. They never got back in order, so Harper's going to push it up here. He's got to go faster than this to get the 2-for-1, though. Are they not even going to try it? Harper's looking pretty tired here. Comes off the screen. Weak side Fox is wide open. I mean, you just got to knock that down. He's got acres of space. And they don't get the 2-for-1 either. It took them too long to set up the play, even though it was a good one to get Fox a wide open corner 3. But this is the amount of shooting that they have on the floor now is really helpful to not have Castle out there. Brunson getting past Vassell into the lane. Tough one over Victor. Tipped by Robinson with 4.1. Spurs can push it up here. Victor's going to do it. He's going to fire from midcourt. Nobody picked him up. But it doesn't matter. And New York, once again, trailed by as many as 14. It's only 7. And Karl Anthony Towns, in theory, will be returning. All right, let's do the WAFO. Really exciting stuff here.
I'm going into the document. Okay, so the way we'll phrase this is, what are the odds that Victor Wembanyama is suspended for Game 6 of the finals? Because if there is no Game 6, then that will be...
Yeah, this is tough. I
can go first. I have my answer.
Okay.
40%.
Yeah, my thought was 52% initially, and then when I saw that last replay where he doesn't really like recklessly move under him, he kind of jumped pretty straight, and it just so happened that his foot landed there. So I'm not sure whether that technically is supposed to be a flagrant. I'm shocked that they didn't call that foul, though. That was really surprising to me. It's not like Victor his foot is so small that you can't see it underneath his foot. Yeah, I'm gonna say, because it's also one of those things where he's kind of dodged discipline a few times already, and usually then you'll see that eventually they'll be like, all right, hey, we got to do this. That was kind of the thing with Draymond, and now that was a different discipline czar as well, right? Is it James Jones? Obviously, Adam Silver will be involved in this some too. Do I want him to be suspended? No, I don't. I don't want him to be suspended. I think there should be, like, that kind of a flagrant to me is just a different one. Because you're still trying to make a basketball play. I'm gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna go 52%. And it's gonna really suck if that happens.
It's And I mean, for me, the other part of this is that I think they were way too aggressive on the last one they called. The third flagrant point is, to me, was more of a judgment call than this one. The first 1, 2 were automatic. I think 3 was the one that probably shouldn't have been called, and then this one's closer.
Here, I'm trying to watch a couple more replays of it.
So dude says, how good is Brunson's gas tank relative to Curry's? So I think Brunson, he's a very good fourth quarter player, but he works way less during the game than Stephen Curry does, all the off ball running and all that stuff. So I think that I think that his gas tank is fine. It's just that he doesn't, he's not as he's more fuel efficient. Let's put it that way than Stephen Curry is. And so that's really different. But Brunson, he's a fantastic fourth quarter player. So you get of course full marks for that. And so the lineups out here, Towns is back as we expected. He's better play pretty much the whole fourth. And what a rebound there by Josh Hart.
Yeah, saves it to Bridges. Alvarado is back in the game. Wembanyama, Towns on a physical drive. Good. Oh, that was really good help there by Vassell. And I think the Spurs have been a little more locked in since those early moments of game one of getting help on Towns' drives if he does get past Wembanyama, because Towns is not a great driver. And what is this? Is this going to be out of bounds?
I think it was a strip Alvarado on Castle, but we didn't have a good look on it. The camera was too far back. Didn't expect that to happen. And I didn't either.
Johnson, Vassell, and Wembanyama up front with Castle and Fox in the backcourt. Here's Castle trying the court. He just got his jersey grabbed by Clarkson. Flare screen set by Wembanyama. Johnson's three. That was a nice play call there because everyone's going to get sucked in by Wembanyama, so he just goes outside of that and sets a screen for Johnson. Fox pressuring. Alvarado blowing by. Good rotation again. See, that's the sort of stuff. That rotation right there is, well, Hart hit a three anyway. But that rotation off of a breakdown to not give anything up at all, that is good coaching right there. Same play they just ran. This time Vassell's open on the pick and pop. He fires and misses. Johnson, good offensive rebound. He beat Bridges. Castle, Vassell, getting into the lane. Here's Wembanyama. Look out. Big dunk there by Victor Wembanyama, and San Antonio back up 9.
And he knew Karl Towns wasn't going to go for a foul there because he already has 4.
Bridges now guarded by Wembanyama. Towns is on the weak side with Vassell on him. Not enough movement here by the Knicks. Hart's going to have to create one-on-one, or maybe Clarkson. No, he should have got it to Clarkson. He could create better than Hart. Hart's going to have to take a tough step back. No, he lost it completely, and it'll be a shot clock violation.
And I like the way that was called, where the Spurs never had control. It shouldn't have reset the shot clock.
San Antonio looking to push it back to double digits here. Vassell and Shamet getting very physical with one another. Now Victor trying to set that flare screen again. Maybe he should get out of that Spencer Jones offensive role. Victor rolls through. Nice. That was beautiful there. And again, man, that could have been a foul on Towns for his 5th, but probably makes up for the cheap one they called him on earlier to not get that one. I like Victor just ghosting through there so he can get on top of the rim. Now Towns trying the physical drive. Alvarado, who wasn't in the corner, needed to get there. Here's Bridges, cut off by Castle. Now Shamet fires over Castle. That was nice there by Shamet and Bridges, because Castle was a little bit out of order and couldn't switch on to Shamet. Back to 6 after the missed alley-oop and then a 3. Shamet and Vassell are just shoving the crap out of each other up top. Vassell fires from a step beyond. Yes, sir, right back. A three-pointer for San Antonio. They needed that one. Yeah, Fox just is not as good at exerting pressure, but Wembanyama came over to clean up for him. Fox gets beat every time he tries to pressure in the backcourt. Here's Castle underneath. He got stripped by Hart, but a foul.
And I want to give Keldon Johnson credit. He drove and passed out of it there, which was the right decision to give it to Castle. Has Stephon Castle made a shot from the field yet?
Nope.
No, he's 0 for 7.
Yeah, and he's made 3 free throws.
While Castle is at the line, one of the key questions for me in this game, and it doesn't even necessarily affect who's going to win, though I mean it obviously matters, is will Mitch Johnson close with Dylan Harper? I mean, I guess maybe they'll just close with all 3 guards, but like to me, both Castle and Fox, based on how they played in this game, should not be sacred cows. You go with somebody who's a better shooter.
What are the chances?
There's a challenge?
Yes, it is. It is a challenge. The green light is on. Now, is there there must have been a clear recovery. The Knicks would never, Jordan Brink would never challenge without a clear recovery. Let's see here. Can't tell from this replay they just showed us there. I know y'all can't see that. I'll try to tell you what we're seeing. Yeah, so let's see it here. And Hart does have swing down pretty wildly. I think his elbow gets his arm. Let's see, but I think he hits the ball first and then goes in the elbow. I think this is clean. He knocks it away first and then goes onto the arm afterwards. So this by the
I have not seen the recovery yet too, because that's an important part of this.
Yeah, I assume the Knicks got it, but well, even you do wipe 2 free throws off nonetheless.
Oh, would it be just off of Castle because Castle touched it last?
Oh yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, good call. All right, well, that'd be a good challenge then. Knicks have not used a challenge yet, correct?
I thought they did.
Spurs did. They got that Towns clamp.
The clamp.
And Brunson is already at the table for New York, so this will give him a nice little rest. All right, Foster getting ready to give us the result here. Or not. Here we go. I guess he's just going to wait until it comes back. Huh. That's surprising to me. I didn't think he grazed the ball. I think he hit it enough to dislodge it. Yeah, he dislodges the ball. That is not grazing the ball. I actually think they got this one wrong.
What else? So is he saying that hitting his arm dislodged it? Because it seemed like it was dislodged before Hart hit the arm. To me,
exactly. Yeah, I agree. That is. Yeah, because I think they missed that one because to me he's losing the ball after the ball got hit, not because the arm got hit. Certainly, if he holds on to the ball and then the arm gets pulled off, that's a foul. That's the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander on P.J. Washington rule. But I didn't think that fell into this. I thought he actually knocked it out of his hand. So I understand this, but Castle misses a free throw anyway.
And that is the third personal on Josh Hart. Castle's line wants me, I don't know if I'll have the time to do this, to look up the most points a player has ever scored in a finals game without making a shot from the field. I know it's not going to be this, but I'm just interested in what the number is.
Really a shame James Harden's only played in one finals. So Castle again with the free throw. San Antonio is up by 10. Knicks got a lot of work to do here. Pressure in the backcourt on Brunson. They're going with Castle and Harper. Fox is on the bench right now. Vassell is on Towns. Brunson can't even get into anything. Here's Shamet trying to create one-on-one. And he scores. Victor just didn't react. Shamet is down, though, behind the play. Not sure what happened to him, but the Spurs could push it here. Champagny, Harper going right at Towns. What a finish again. Ten-point lead once more. Towns now guarded by Victor. They want to get into some of their off-ball screening action. Spurs take that away. Now Brunson gets it. Castle's on his back. Corner Shamet. Big three here. No. Knicks have had a few of those that maybe could have made things more interesting. Vassell says, hey, push it up. Let's go. Harper. And nope, we're just going to get a... Is this just an intentional foul by the Knicks with Shamet down? He went flying into the cameras after that layup. Let's see. Once per series, the guy get hurt on the cameras? Oh, no, he hit a wet spot there as he was landing, it appeared. So he goes down, leg slips out. Yeah, I couldn't see exactly what happened to him, though. Harper working baseline. Now Champagny getting past Brunson. Up to Victor. Stopped by Anunoby. Brunson tried to get the foul on Castle, and they give it to him.
And so
Jalen Brunson at his simulating best right now.
Nate, the answer to the question, most finals points without a made field goal, 9 by 2 people. Nat Clifton in 1952 and World B. Free in 1977. Other than them, it's 6. Greg Foster, Happy Hairston, Dennis Rodman, Terry Teagle.
Yeah, so maybe it was a hamstring for Shamet. I really couldn't tell what happened to him.
It seemed like he was grabbing, kind of grabbing maybe a hamstring. It was the back of his leg. I couldn't tell whether it was upper or lower. Hopefully.
Brunson missed the first free throw. And he's now 7 of 9 from the foul line. So Towns has had plenty of rest, that's for sure. Both his and Anunoby's NBA Finals MVP cases are taking a hit. If the Knicks win this one, it's probably going to be Brunson in the end. And he does make 2 out of 3, down to 8. San Antonio needs to keep scoring here. Let's see if they can keep involving Brunson. They're going to set up the Spain pick and roll. Castle attacks. Had Victor rolling down the lane, didn't go there. Now he's at the left elbow. I thought he traveled, actually. Now he's going to try Towns. Fade away over him. Short. Knicks can cut it down to 2 possessions once more. The Spurs just have not been able to blow them out. Brunson, fake, scores. Timeout, Miss Johnson. He was ready for that one.
And this is a concern for the Spurs because even though I think they've outplayed the Knicks pretty consistently in Game 5, it is a 2-score game with the Knicks going to be ready for the close. And so who Mitch Johnson plays, what his offensive theory is, all of those things could loom large here. That is a fun fact from Super Nintendo that he reversed his two names when sports writers complained that his last name, Nathaniel, was too long to fit in their headlines. That's amazing.
Yeah, Nathaniel is a pretty long name. I can attest to that.
And that's an interesting point from Math Guy Dave. I was thinking about this too from the league office perspective. He says he'd rather see the Knicks win here than a no win, than a winning and no Wemby game in Game 6. Is that as much as the league loves the revenue and the excitement of all this stuff, I think they would rather not have to make this huge decision. I think there's certainly an element of that.
Well, here's a question. Not that this should necessarily enter into it, but would people be more pissed off if he does or doesn't get suspended?
I think it does overall in the country. I think it'd be does than doesn't, especially if the Knicks win. Now, if Wembanyama is suspended, somehow the Spurs win. Well, then everybody's fine with that. But the idea of a star player being out. Brian Estabrook says offseason comparison, but what team is even comparable to this Knicks team? Insane run from mediocre three seed. I think that really understates how good the Knicks were and have been. Like they have a lot of talent. They've been unbelievable in this playoff run, even if they haven't played complete opponents all the time. But like they've been very, very good.
Yeah, so I'm looking at an example of the reckless contest into the landing space, and there is more of a forward movement on the example than what Wembanyama showed, where you do get that. I mean, the rule came in for that kind of that little double slide forward.
And on the like finals MVP front, who knows if we'll actually get it decided in this game, is that this like kind of how the series is run is another reminder of why like you kind of lean on the best players. That Brunson in the earlier part of the series, it was the doubles that he was getting that was generating shots, and now he's just having to carry the offensive load, and that's kind of the way this often ends up working out. And I mean, Towns was fabulous to start the series. He was outplaying Wembanyama through the first couple of games of the series, but overall since then he's had extended foul trouble, and I mean OG's been great. It's no shame on those guys, but to me, like, it would take a strong performance from somebody else for me for if the Knicks win for Brunson to not be my finals MVP.
Yeah, but for San Antonio to only be up by 6 right now, with Towns having not even played 20 minutes, because he is the antidote. So Spurs only up 6 now. They'll set the screen roll for Harper. Corner Vassell. You see that? Or sorry, that's Castle. And Castle not being guarded short-circuited the play right there. That's why I think he should be on the bench at the end of this game. Tough fadeaway. That is, what a rebound by Victor. No, they're going to get Victor for the foul, not Towns. That is rare that someone face guarding on a block out like that will get the call in their favor. Yeah, but Victor did wrap him up a little bit from behind. Towns was simultaneously fouling him as well, but
it's the angle of the referee is standing in the position to see the hands behind, and so that's just the nature of where the person who makes the call is standing.
So Mitch Johnson saw exactly what I just did and took out Castle. Because they can't score. That's their problem. It's not their defense. And Harper has been, I don't think he's been a priestly horse. They're going to just switch Victor onto Brunson. Interesting. That was very intentional. Brunson getting him on his back, steps through, and scores. What a move by Brunson. That was awesome.
Great craft. Jalen Brunson has such good footwork, and there it was body work too. Kind of pushed a little hip into Wembanyama to get him off his side.
Spain pick and roll. Brunson on the head. Champagny pops. He'll drive it. He got stripped. It's loose. He had the oop to Victor. Too bad he got stripped. Brunson corrals it on the floor. New York can cut it to a one-possession game here. Brunson has been unbelievable. He's actually been limping around a little bit after that flagrant. That wasn't. Hart, they try to short the pick and roll. Towns not even thinking about rolling to the basket. Now he's going to try to bludgeon his way into Harper. Step back three by Towns. Rebounded by Victor. Victor doesn't have much excuse to be tired. He's gotten plenty of rest. You imagine he'll go the whole fourth. Down under 6 minutes now. They're going to set up. They're going to just take too long is what's going to happen here. Finally, they get Victor at the elbow. And no, offensive foul on Victor. He's gotten 2 in a row. That'll be 4 now on him. He's saying he got pushed.
I didn't see a ton of a push there live.
I mean, he's got equal right to that space just catching the ball. Oh, he did get pushed. They going to challenge this? Yeah, looks like they are headed that way. And this is going to be a 5th on Karl-Anthony Towns, I think.
Yeah, because that's the reason that Wembanyama, his jump went so far to the side, I think was the contact from Towns.
Yeah, right at the end, he clearly is pushed forward. Because he's in the air, and then you can see, because that's not one where he can control it because he's in the air. As he's in the air, he starts to move further. That is a foul on Karl-Anthony Towns. Regardless, I actually don't think it should have been a foul on Victor, even if he didn't get pushed, because he's just going for a loose ball there to catch it. He's not setting the screen. He and Hart have the same right to that space. That's not, he hasn't even caught the ball yet. Well, so Towns getting a 5th. Presumably they'll just stay with him at this point.
They should. Man, I mean, with 5:30 left.
I mean, this is insane, the number of challenges they've used to transfer fouls from Wembanyama to Towns. This will be the 3rd in the last 2 games.
And dude asked, do you double Brunson?
Quick, hold on.
Okay.
All right, so the Spurs keep possession. That's a huge call because they could have turned it over back to the Knicks. Sorry, what were you saying?
I mean, that's and like we got some people in the comments talking about how Towns is dirty. Like that's not a dirty play. There isn't really much of a risk of injury. It's just a play that you shouldn't make. Like he commits dumb fouls. I don't think Towns commits dirty fouls. And did I just see Mitchell Robinson stepping to the floor? Because with 5 minutes left, you should just play Karl-Anthony Towns. That's ridiculous from Mike Brown.
Now, I guess maybe they're concerned about playing Robinson at the end of the game, so they just have to make sure Towns is there. So here's Wembanyama working with Fox. They go under on Fox. Fox turns the corner anyway and can't knock it down. Harper kept it alive, but it's Brunson on the push, going right at Champagnie, and they've given him the foul. I didn't really care for that call.
Let me check the team foul situation here. That is the 3rd team foul on the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, I think maybe the thought on keeping Towns out, which I don't know that I agree with, is simply we can't not have him at the end of the game because you can't play Mitchell Robinson.
But is that 4 minutes? Like it can't be long because otherwise you're defeating your own purpose. They did just get a foul, just get a stop and a drive without him.
So they're going to take out Victor here, interestingly. I think Mitch Johnson maybe is going a little bit too far in the other direction, especially with all the reviews.
I mean, Wembanyama in this game, he's played 33 minutes so far, and there's 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I would not take my use it or lose it as Mike Braun when Victor
Absolutely
is off the
not.
floor. Cornette looking to set the screen, then roll. Good job by Mitchell Robinson. He's saying it should be Nick Ball, but he's not going to get that call, and the Knicks are out of challenges. They go to the 45 pick and roll again. This time Bridges pre-switches out of the action. Here's Fox over Bridges, way short. Cornette working the glass. Man, Mitchell Robinson, he just somehow vacuums in these rebounds. I don't understand it. Now Brunson on the attack again. Beautiful fake there. He faked out Cornette, to run to the corner. And yeah, you got to question with the Knicks on a 10-0 run here, taking out Wembanyama. I think Mitch Johnson is just overcorrecting a little bit for
this
not
has
resting
been
Victor enough last
terrible
time.
offensive process from Fox too. The last possession, they didn't try anything, and they just took a contested 2 over Bridges.
Harper tried to draw the foul. Tough shot, tipped out. Harper can't get it. No, we're going to get a push here in the back as Harper went for the rebound.
So they're calling this on OG Anunoby. That would be the fourth. Well, it is the fourth team foul in the Knicks because the Knicks can't challenge.
Man, Brunson just absolutely left Cornette's jockstrap on the ground there with that fake. And yeah, okay. To me, though, he already hasn't gotten the ball at that point. I don't know if I would call that. So Victor is back in. That's also that foul is a key part of that. Fox in the pick and roll gets baseline, kicks out Harper. He moves it quickly. Vassell off the Hart closeout, cashes out. San Antonio back up by 2. That was a big call with Harper going for the loose ball. Got San Antonio 2 points. Now he's got the matchup on Brunson. Brunson has been the league's best closer. Other than Shea this year, and certainly in the playoffs, he's been the best. Tough fadeaway, Brunson. Good defense. Oh, Vassell has lost it out of bounds. Oh, what a terrible unforced error by the Spurs.
They had 3 guys on the defensive glass there. I think it was Vassell's foot. I don't think the ball bounced out of bounds. I think it was standing on the line when the rebounding action.
Yeah. So they'll have to get another stop again.
And why isn't Townsend?
Good denial by Champagny. I agree with you. They're going to get Brunson up top. Spanulis DHO. Now it's hand back to Brunson with Vassell on him. Down to 3. Brunson's got to step back right here. Vassell's all over him. Brunson. Oh, they gave him that. That's horrible. That is a horrible call. It's been such a weirdly refereed game because there have been a bunch of things that have favored the Spurs. Well, actually, you know what? That's a foul.
Stepped into him.
Yeah, I mean he's moving forward there. Rick Brunson, man, he's just this is his absolute dream to see that call be given.
Yeah. I'm sad one of the alt casts isn't just a Rick Brunson cam.
But I mean, Brunson has gotten every. I've loved the way that they haven't given anybody those kind of calls all series, and Brunson's gotten every single one of them, except for the flagrant.
Yeah, that's true. And Brunson, I think this would give this, if he makes this one, this would give him 42 for the game.
Yeah, and it's really his second half. It's been pretty ridiculous. 24 points in the second half for Brunson. And he's made some amazing shots, but he also has gotten some BS calls. So New York now takes their first lead. Again, this has been the flow of all these games. San Antonio has got to figure out a way to score. This is their best offensive lineup. Victor at the elbow. Fox going to his left hand. Anunoby goes under. Fox pulls up. Another miss by De'Aaron Fox. He was relatively reliable on those during the regular season, has not been here. I think they should be trying to get the ball to Harper.
Did you see how Mikal Bridges was calling for that timeout for like 10 seconds before they granted it?
No, I was not looking at that.
He was standing there with Tyler Ford doing the T signal the entire time, and Tyler Ford's waiting, and then grants it. I think I think Bridges realized they wanted to use the ULA. They should bring in Towns.
Well, he was that's what they're going to do. That's why they were taking this time out. They had a chance to maybe hack Mitchell Robinson with it being in the bonus. I would not take Fox out. I would just use him as a spot-up shooter and give the ball to Harper on these plays instead of Fox. But Mitch Johnson,
you need to have a second dribbler. Like you can't have just one. That's been a huge.
Well, I think that people are saying that he should go back to Castle, but Castle's been terrible too, and Fox at least will make a 3, in theory, in the corner. But yeah, like the fact that the fact that they never gave Dylan Harper like real pick and roll reps all season, I think has come back to hurt them a lot in these playoffs because he could be their best guy, but to be like, yeah, in an elimination game, we're going to give him the ball at the end. I mean, Mitch Johnson's like, yeah, De'Aaron Fox will have the ball at the end, just like he always is. And it's like, but he's got a high ankle sprain. He's terrible. And this has been horrible offense by San Antonio in this quarter. And they haven't scored in a while, huh? Or they've got 2 points, that Vassell jumper. So here we go. Brunson and Castle is back in to guard him. They're going with the 3 guards. And now we have an offensive foul on Brunson. Man, Tyler Ford is his lungs have got to be getting tired with these whistles. Yeah, Brunson just smacked him in the face with the off arm. That's a good call. Double screening action here to involve Brunson. Castle, with Champagny out of the game. Castle will attack, gets into the lane, goes into Towns. Good verticality by Towns. That could have been his 6th. Instead, a wild miss by Castle. Brunson, can he push it here? Will he push it? They're up by 1. Gets it back. Castle is on him. They want to involve Vassell here, and they will switch it. Vassell steps up hard, working with Towns with Harper on him. Down to 5. Towns rips through. Has to go to the step back. No foul. Inside position. Hart missed it. He thought he got fouled. Spurs should push it here. Harper has Bridges back. He's going to go right at him. Into the lane. Stopped by Bridges. What a block. Harper got it back. Vassell not looking to take the 3. Wembanyama not looking to take the 3. Now Harper, wrong foots Anunoby on the drive. And Anunoby got the stop at the rim. Harper couldn't take the lead. He's behind the play now. Knicks have a 5-on-4. Where is Harper? He looked like he might be in some pain. He gets back into it, but they're still out of order. And, that was a goaltend there on Vassell. He went up through the rim.
Yeah,
what a play again by Anunoby. Yeah, what a play by Anunoby. And Victor, he went for the steal, didn't get it. Obvious goaltend there. But Harper, that confrontation between he and Anunoby, he went flying into the stanchion, didn't make it. Now Wembanyama. He'll try to attack Towns, gets him in the air. That's going to be his 6th.
And Karl-Anthony Towns there, he took an additional step forward. When Wembanyama gathered, you just stand still, and then you made it a pretty tough shot. And so Karl-Anthony Towns, that's why Mike Brown had been reluctant to play. It was just a silly play when you have 5 fouls.
I mean, that's already a foul. And then this clearly is. Yeah, he's... Yeah. I mean, if that one on Brunson was a foul, that one is a foul. So Mitchell Robinson is in, and very interested to see. The Spurs haven't really gone to this of like, do they intentionally foul Mitchell Robinson?
And these are big fouls, big free throws.
Big free throws here. Wembanyama after he missed those 2 in game 4. Going back to his normal routine. Misses the first. Victor Wembanyama, normally an extremely reliable free throw shooter. He takes technical free throws for the San Antonio Spurs, and he missed that one. He's missed 2 now in the game, but one of them didn't count because it was on a flagrant. Second one is good. 2-point game. The Knicks are 151 away from their first championship in 53 years. Castle trying to heat up Brunson here. They want to involve Vassell. That's a tough guy to have to go after, but that's who Brunson wants. Already down to 6 with a 2-point lead. Brunson putting him in the mix. Gets to his right. Wants to step back. Victor coming over. Tough shot off the top of the backboard. Shot clock violation.
And that was a wild rebounding scrum, but it didn't matter because it was a shot clock violation.
Good defense there by Vassell using his length. There really is nowhere. I would go after Fox here if I were the Knicks defensively. I think Brunson has done pretty well against Fox.
I agree.
So Harper is going to have the ball. Fox is going to be off the ball. He's guarded by Anunoby. They want to involve Brunson here through Vassell. Double screening action. Harper getting downhill. A little less aggressive. Tough fadeaway. Harper has tied the game. He was much more under control than on those last 2 drives, and they got to give Harper the ball every time. Brunson going to get past Castle here. Has him on his back. Floats and scores. Beautiful work there by Brunson against the pressure. He saved that effort for that time, and he quick shot everyone before Victor could get there. Now Fox on a quick attack. Under control. Victor has Castle on top instead. Kicks it to Fox. Three-pointer for the lead in the corner. Missed by De'Aaron Fox. And now New York can take a 2-possession lead. They should dribble the air out of the ball here, though. They could limit the Spurs to one more shot. Fox is on Brunson. This is a good matchup for him. Brunson wants to attack now. Kicks it out. Hart, huge three up top. He's wide open. Missed it. Tipped by Robinson. Rebounded by Harper. He could tie it or they could take the lead. Harper going at Anunoby again. He can't finish. Anunoby got another stop on Harper. And they do foul here. There was a 4-second differential. Maybe they didn't need to foul with 2 timeouts, but Hart is going to have 2 free throws. The Spurs couldn't get down there with Harper. Everyone was exhausted for the offensive rebound, and it was Harper against Anunoby again, and OG contested him twice. The best young finisher in basketball couldn't get it done. Fox missed a wide-open corner 3, and now Josh Hart can put the Spurs into great difficulty by making both of these.
Biggest free throws of Josh Hart's life, chance to make it a 2-possession game. The Spurs do have 2 timeouts, so they should call one here to advance it anyway.
They will take out. I actually would not call a timeout here if I'm down. If they're down 4, they are going to call it though because Cornette is in. Shamet is in for defense. Hart misses. Robinson rebounded. They didn't foul him. Robinson beat 3 guys. And now a foul on Anunoby, and New York is in a great position.
Wow. And Mitchell Robinson being in instead of Karl-Anthony Towns might have helped make that happen.
And they needed to wrap him up here. I mean, Victor actually was fouling him, and he still got the rebound. They didn't call it. So Anunoby now. He's given the Knicks a 2-possession lead, and he can make it 5 now. They had 2 guys pinching on Mitchell Robinson, and he went through both of them. Anunoby missed that free throw. Tipped around. Are they going to get it again? No. San Antonio gets it, so the Knicks go 2 of 4 on these clutch free throws, but that Robinson rebound got him the 1 extra point. I would have actually tried to push it up there personally. Mitchell Robinson, of course, lane violated on that play. They just never call that. So I would have tried to push it up there because you just want as many chances to get him confused, right? Because they missed that. They could have, if they they could have pushed it up for a 3, and they would have been maybe in a better position because with 2 timeouts remaining, they still could have played the foul game for a lot longer.
That's true. And the Knicks didn't have their perfect defensive personnel on the floor, which they should here.
Yeah, David making a good point. Why didn't they put Cornette on his side?
Yeah, they could have done a better pinch.
Thanks to everyone who's given us some tips. If this indeed is the end, this has been a pretty darn fun playoffs.
The only thing you could ask for more in this series would be more games. But, every single game has been hard fought. Every single game has been memorable. Every single game has been close.
And how fitting that the New York Knicks might Thibodeau the Spurs after Tom Thibodeau was fired. New York, once again, it's been New York's defense in this series. San Antonio just has not been able to score reliably enough. So now, I think that San Antonio needs a 3 here. Let's see if that's what they go for. Castle will be the inbounder. They don't have Champagny in the game. That makes me think they're not necessarily going for a 3. I think they're going to try to get a quick 2 and then deny the ball in bounds. But the Knicks have 2 timeouts left. That's another reason I think you got to go for a 3. Back screen. Victor trying to get the ball against Robinson. They lob it up to him. Difficult one. He'll just fire the 3 from the right wing. Missed it. Oh, what a dunk by Castle. He throws it to the ref, and Mike Brown isn't even going to mess around with it. He'll call a timeout immediately. So New York is not out yet.
And New York has had some trouble with inbounds late in games. There was some memorable ones last year against the Pacers. The Spurs haven't been great executing on those circumstances, but they only have to do it once. But remember, the Knicks still have another timeout, so you don't have to just like force this ball in if you don't have it. Whew. Well, and Matthew says acceptable quick two. Well, they went for the three. They just didn't. They got a quick two after the three. It was, yeah, I mean, that was a great play by Stephon Castle, and you have to crash the boards in those circumstances because if you don't get the offensive rebound, you're done. And so you go for it, and that was just great by him. Yeah, in this fourth quarter, San Antonio has 11 points on first shot half court plays. That's 11 on 18, 0.61. They have 1 point in transition, then they have 6 second chance points. Oh, thank you, Matt. It was a joke. I'm going at this fast. So here for the next, I mean, so as San Antonio, I think you maybe try a little bit to get the steal here, but you have to play it really tough because you're trying to, because you want to try to extend it if you can.
Yeah, that was good work by Castle. He beat 2 guys for that tip dunk. So now
second game in a row where the inbounder got a tip.
Shamit's in the backcourt here. Victor is on the inbounder. We'll see if he takes the first pass. As one last word with Sean Sweeney. This could be Sean Sweeney's last game with the Spurs taking over in Orlando. And Brunson is surely the guy they wanted. He's guarded by Castle, who's going to try to topside him. They screen for him. Vassell switches. They get it into Brunson. They should trap here. They're not going to do it. They're just going to let him dribble. Why didn't they trap him in the corner? Now Brunson in the backcourt. It's loose. And a foul on Bridges. Oh, that could have been a fast break for San Antonio. It went right to Bridges, and he got hacked across the arms. Good call there. I don't know why they didn't trap Brunson in the corner. They're trying to trap him here. He picks it up. 1, 2, stripped clean. And Bridges just happened to get it, and he clearly got hit on the arm. So Bridges rarely visits the free throw line, only 23 attempts in the playoffs, and he needs to hit them both to keep New York comfortable here. Missed the first. San Antonio will have a chance.
Ooh.
So now, Mitchell Robinson is going to come in. Is Cornette in? Are they clearly going to take the timeout here? Would they try to just push it up and get a quick three? Or he could miss this one too, and it would be a 2. What are they going to do? Cornette is in, so they'll take the timeout. He makes the second. Timeout San Antonio. They will have a chance to tie the game. And hey, we're going to see for the first time in a while the do you foul up 3 or not?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. You and I are both we're less enthusiastic about the fouling up 3. Generally speaking, because it leads to all these other potential things. And it also, because teams sometimes change their shot profile if they don't know if a team is going to foul or if they expect it. So that's an interesting change of pace here. And for the Knicks, that also affects who you have on the floor. Do you go with more of kind of a switching group and just try to make it a 3, but make it a hard 3? Or do you try to go for something else?
I think you got to have enough size on Victor to challenge his shot. And to me, I would try to get him the ball on the move and have him just turn and shoot it immediately. He and Vassell are the 2 most obvious guys. Why would they not have Champagny in the game here? I don't really understand that. I mean, they're probably going to have Castle be the inbounder again, but then he doesn't need to be guarded really after he inbounds the ball, so that frees up his man. But I think. So Jeremy Sohan is going to be in the game right now. The other thing that San Antonio needs to do is if they miss here, they have to foul immediately, and maybe they could even foul Sohan.
And crash the glass impossibly hard, basically, because that's the only thing that matters.
So it will, in fact, be Castle again as the inbounder. Victor's going to start on the weak side. They're going to go, you would think, for an immediate three here out of timeouts. Victor and Vassell looking like they're going to interact on the weak sides. Strong side, it's Fox. And Scott Foster getting ready to hand it to Castle. Hart is positioned to take away the pass to the corner right now. Here we go. Victor working to get it into the corner. They try to throw it to him. They can't. They barely get it in, and the immediate foul by Shamet on Harper. And Harper will have 2 free throws here. I think there's enough time left that you try to make them both.
Yeah, I don't think you need to intentionally miss the second.
Yeah,
especially with the Knicks having missed some clutch free throws already in this fourth quarter.
Now, presumably, Mitchell Robinson is going to come in for rebounding.
Is
he? You know, the other thing I might do, I mean, I still think you try to make the second, but you have to be ready to foul Mitchell Robinson the moment he gets the rebound. No, they're going to bring in Huck Porty now rather than Robinson for that reason, but he missed the first free throw. Oh, absolute killer for San Antonio. They've just made too many mistakes in this series. So now it's an intentional miss situation, I think.
Yeah, because you
maybe
can't
not. No, actually, no. I think you do still try to make it and then deny the ball in bounds.
Yeah, you have to deny.
Harper missed the second. Anunoby has the rebound. He has to foul. Dylan Harper missed 2 free throws. And with San Antonio out of timeouts, just 1 make for Anunoby will surely clinch it for the Knicks.
Was that a bad miss or a bad intentional miss? Because he kind of shot it flat-footed. That made me think, but
he was trying to make it.
Was wrong. Okay.
I mean, the Knicks it's not like they have shot incredibly well down the end either. Anunoby's first free throw. Misses. Still time for San Antonio.
But the Spurs have no timeouts.
They have no timeouts, and if he misses this one, will the Knicks foul again? Neither team has been able to make a clutch free throw. Anunoby, can he break the streak here? He's missed 2 out of 3 down the end. And it is good. They now lead by 4. Victor gets it in. Fox will push it up. Back to Victor. 3-pointer by Wembanyama. Misses. And the Knicks are world champions. For the first time since 1973, they do it, outscoring the Spurs by only 12 points in a 4-1 series victory. An incredible run. They go 15-3, best point differential ever in a playoffs. The New York Knicks have written their story in the history books, and the Spurs have a lot to think about in this offseason because they had their chances. The Knicks incredibly clutch in this series.
And as it has been so much in this 2026 NBA Finals, the fourth quarter tells a lot of the story. 29-18 in favor of the Knicks. The Spurs, again, don't get to 20 in a decisive fourth quarter. They were so good, they held the Knicks to 13 points in the first quarter, but their defense couldn't quite hold up and their offense couldn't deliver. And so the Knicks are champions of the NBA and the world.
All right, well, we are going to go record on this in a little bit, so I hope you'll join us on Dunk Time as we wrap it up. But it was great doing this with y'all this season, and we will have much more coverage, of course, to come on Dunk Time throughout the offseason here. Much to discuss as these teams try to catch the world champion New York Knicks.